Hello, there we are.
Welcome to the first game of Andrea's Adventures 2025. I am your project manager, Kat, and we've assembled the realm's best business wizards to end your work week with just a little bit more work. You'll get to meet them in a moment, but I want to start by acknowledging that I'm playing this game today from the unceded traditional territories of the Wasanic and Lekwungen speaking peoples who have stewarded the land and waters here since time immemorial. Our players are scattered across the land, known to many of its original inhabitants as Turtle Island, and reside on the traditional territories of diverse Indigenous peoples. As an uninvited settler, I am learning about the colonial acts that have devastated Indigenous, Inuit, and Métis peoples in the land we currently call Canada, and I'm attempting to unlearn the patterns that continue to perpetrate those harmful systems today. I also want to reiterate that there is no space for hate at this table. As the game itself reads, while arcane in our methods, we do expect, encourage, and strongly desire that all races, species, genders, abilities, alignments, life statuses, and schools of magic take a seat at the table. Therefore, we respect all methods and manners of being and will happily conjure a policy as needed to support and celebrate a particular wizardly identity. We are going to do our best today to hold to this guiding principle, but due to the improvised nature of role-playing games, we may occasionally step over the line. If we do, please know that it is not intentional. We recognize that, intended or not, harm can happen. Business Wizards is powered by the Polymorph system, published by Ninth Level Games, and written by Nat Menard and Patrick Watson. In addition to playing our game today, we are raising money for Andrea's Adventurers with the funds going to the Canadian Cancer Society. We're going to let you all bend the rules of the game a little bit and make things more hectic for our business wizards with the following donations, which are also going to be in the chat for you. So for $10, we've called this Hang In There. You can give advantage to one of our players. For $25, it's a special requisition. You can give a spell page to a player, which gives them an auto success in whatever they are trying to do. $50, everyone hates Mondays. You can add a threat to the quest that our wizards are going on. At $75, you sponsor a coffee break and reduce one stress for a PC. And for $200, you can actually join our game as a remote working Bizard, and you, along with your donation, name the spell that you want to cast to help the team that's in the field right now. You only send them the name, and they have to interpret what that means. So there's also an auction with so many wonderful items and experiences for you to bid on, including digital copies of this game, Business Wizards, thanks to publisher Ninth Level Games. Check out the auction at the break or over the rest of the weekend at the link that is in the chat. With all of that said, let's introduce today's Bizards, all employees of Dungeon Depot. Let us know your name, your character's name and pronouns, what department your character works in, and their magical college and major.
All right. Well, I am Tagg. I go by Tagg, and my pronouns are they, them. Tonight, I will be playing a 3-foot-tall ginger cat person named Claude Guru, and their pronouns are he, they. Claude is the manager of Humanoid Resources here at Dungeon Depot's corporate headquarters, and he has, I wrote this down, he is from the College of Enchantment, where he majored in all things nocturnal and of the night. And that's me.
So that means it's my turn. I'm Steve, playing Floyd. Floyd is a he, him. He went to the BC Institute of Thaumaturgy and, went to the College of Illumination with a major in Forge. He's a little bit of a cutthroaty type person, tends to want to get things done. You'll find more.
And I'm stupopp. I am playing Doug the Green, whose pronouns are he, him. He went to he works as in-house counsel in the extra legal department here. And he went to the College of Conjuration at the University of Valinor and majored in Earth. So he's a bit of maybe a bit of an eco warrior in the legal department, making sure that we don't damage the world too much.
And my name is Maggie. I'm playing as Steve from sales. But I work in marketing, and my college was conjuration. I majored in sky. Yeah, so Steve is actually from the magical sales family, although he works in marketing, and he is an innovator, a real free thinker.
Amazing. So for the folks watching, we've done a little bit of the game prep ahead of time so that you don't have to sit through a SWOT analysis. If you are in any kind of business and have had to do one of those, you know that it's not necessarily a lot of fun. And while our business wizards may doze off during the company meeting, we don't want you to doze off during the stream. So these Bizards are on a deadline to prepare the initial presentation for a merger with a foreign company, Dungeon, by the end of the week to expand into a mid-market segment. So let's jump right into the corporate world of Dungeon Depot. It's Tuesday morning, and Doug, right after you got this assignment yesterday at the kind of full staff meeting from your chief enchanting officer, Glinta the Bright, you spent most of yesterday adding the company name and everything into your boilerplate legal template for a merger. Not that you've ever done this kind of thing before, but you feel like the boilerplate's a good place to start. You have decided to make some copies so that you can spread it around the office. And as you are standing in front of the copier, ready to put your parchment in there, you are going to actually give me an effect roll right away. So you're going to take your one die, roll it, and tell me how many or what the result is.
All right. That is a 6.
That is a 6. Out of this probably 20-page legal document that you've spent all of yesterday preparing, you have 6 pages left because as you've put them into the feeder, you realize the copier's turned into a mimic again, and it has eaten the rest of your document. What would you like to do?
I feel like this happens a lot, so I think it's just a resigned sigh out of Doug. And I'm gonna start this. Let's go crazy. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna cast a spell called Speak with Furniture.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna try and sweet talk this mimic into just, if it could just transform back for like just a minute, just to finish doing these copies.
Amazing. Let's do your roll first, and then we'll play it out.
Okay.
So I think that sounds like an ID8 roll, which is kind of using your wits, your knowledge to kind of make this. So you're going to succeed on a 2 or a 3.
Sounds good. Let's see what we can do. That's a 4.
That's a 4. So when you fail, you get to take a point of stress. You can choose which one it is, and you will have disadvantage on that type of roll going forward. So you can track that on your sheet. And then paint a word picture for me, including what Stu looks like today in the office. Sorry, not Stu. Ooh.
Doug does look different from Stu.
Yes. Tell us what Doug looks like in the office today as you are trying to sweet talk this mimic.
Yeah. I want you to picture basically Gandalf. If Gandalf was the guy in your office that bikes to work. So it's just a very old man with a very long beard in bike shorts and like performance biking racer's top. Because it's pretty early in the day. He hasn't decided to change into a suit yet. And he's just doing boilerplate stuff, so why get dressed up for that? And he's got a big old staff with him.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
so what do you say to this mimic as you are trying to unsuccessfully convince it to give you back your document?
Yeah, I think he's just sort of goes a little, "You fiendish little animal, I need you to be furniture and work and make copies."
You are faced with a mimic that has had a taste of your parchment and seems like it wants the rest of it. But the commotion has attracted the attention of Humanoid Resources. Claude, would you like to tell us a little bit about how Claude looks today and what you do as you come upon Doug looking at and facing off against this mimic?
Of course, of course. So Claude is, like I said, he's about 3 feet high. He is a little ginger tabby cat person, stands on hind legs. Kind of imagine Puss in Boots, but with less cool hats and more polo shirts. So he always has a clipboard with a folder with him. He has pens in his little pocket on his shirt. And as he rounds the corner here, he sees that someone is messing with the mimic again. And he also does the deep sigh of someone who's seen this many times before. And he'll look up and be like, Doug, are we having issues with the mimic?
"This confounding thing was trying to eat me and my paper instead of printing."
Yes, it does tend to do that. Now, have you tried asking it nicely?
"I tried asking it."
See, now we have to try asking nicely if we want people to do things for us.
"I don't know, that doesn't really track with me. I tend to just jump to suing, generally. That's sort of how we do things in
Yes.
extra legal."
Yes, I'm well aware. So let's see here. So he's gonna go over to the mimic and just kind of what's he gonna do? So he is shorter than this printer mimic, and he's just gonna look up and be like, "Hello, yes, we really need you to be a copier at the moment because we've got a very important document that we need to finish copying. So if you could just stop what you are, that would be great."
I'm going to call this a delegate role for you
All
because you're leaning
right.
into the teamwork aspect of
Absolutely.
things.
He is a
And like
team player.
this is what you're good at. So you succeed on a 5 through a 9.
All right, let's see what we got here. That's a 4.
Amazing. Again, you can take a point of stress, put it in whichever box
Excellent.
you choose. Um,
I think he's going to be a little overworked. That normally
Luckily,
works.
and thank you to our first donation for the stream. There is a remote spell, and it comes in almost like a sparkly kind of paper airplane, just flying through the office and into this alcove where the copier is normally located and the mimic is currently to be found. Um, and it opens, and on that piece of mail for you is a remote spell. So thank you for the donation on that. And it says, Hushabye baby. Please
Excellent.
describe to me what the effect is. Doug and Claude, you can kind of tag team on this. One of you kind of describes what it does, and the other one describes what it looks like as it takes effect.
Okay. You want to describe what it does and I'll do the effect?
Sure, yeah. I think it puts the mimic into like a real cartoony sleep, like a real honk shoe sleep with a little like
Honk shoe,
bubble
me,
coming
me,
out
me,
of
me,
the
me, me.
nose. Exactly. Maybe some like little birds
Yes, I was
flying
just going to
overhead.
say when the spell is cast, it looks like you said, very cartoony, very like Saturday morning cartoon. I almost feel like the spell will cause a spectral boulder to fall from the ceiling and knock the mimic printer on the head, and the mimic will have his tongue lolling out, will have little birds flying around him, and a big cartoony goose egg on the top of its head.
Amazing. So now the mimic's taken care of at least, but you still don't have a copier. I think let's bring in at this point Floyd. I think that you're walking by. Tell us a little bit about what Floyd looks like and what you do upon coming upon your team, half of your team. So Claude, Doug, and a now knocked out and sleeping mimic.
So Floyd is a little bit taller and heavier, and if you picture someone who might have originally worked in the Magia instead of like the legal magic world, yeah, that would be him. He's already asleep. You didn't let me put him to sleep. I'm sad.
It still needs to be dragged out of there, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, do we know where the copier is?
Well, usually when the mimic moves in, it will stash it in the broom closet a floor below. That's usually where it kind of hides the corpse.
Okay. Do we want to keep the mimic around, or should I just like drop him out in the dumpster out back?
Well, I believe, yes, that would be an excellent solution. And as I don't advocate for, expiring this poor creature, just shoo it outside.
Can I bend it a bit?
You can bend but not break.
Okay.
Remember the rules.
Yes, sir. I'll try and remember.
Amazing. So let's see how long it's going to take you to do this, Floyd. It feels like a liquidation roll.
Okay. Oh, except that a 2 doesn't liquidate.
A 2 does not
great.
liquidate
Voice rolls already, guys.
at
Yeah,
all.
it's like-
It's okay. It's only Tuesday. You have until the end of the week. It's going to be fine.
Sure.
I think that this is going to put you fairly far behind, though. You are eventually able to get this mimic out of the space. You are eventually able to go down to that broom closet where you're hoping the actual copier will be. And I think that by this point, even though marketing really isn't involved with the legal stuff, Steve has just found out that y'all aren't doing your part. And Steve, being an innovator, feels like you can step in. You can get this done. So I think you meet up with the rest of your fellow business wizards outside this broom closet.
Problems with the copier again? I don't even know why you guys rely on this ancient scroll technology when we could be doing illusory magic. We could be bringing visuals to this presentation, not these dated papers, man.
Yes, I know
From
you're
my
all
point
about.
of view, it's just about billable hours, really, here. So, the paper takes a little bit longer. We fudge a little, it's a way for the company to sort of.
They won't question the hours when they see the fireworks, Doug.
No, they always question the hours after the fireworks, unfortunately. People think fireworks don't take any time, so they think like, oh, I could do that. I could just light a match, you know. They don't
I'm
think of
just
all the
saying,
work
then they
behind it.
ask you about the billable hours and you go, "Pachoo," and then you're gone. And then you send in the invoice.
Yeah, that doesn't really hold up in extra court, unfortunately.
Holds up in my department.
Well, you work in marketing, so
Yeah, so if I get Steve, is like a humanoid, human looking, kind of like he's definitely 6 foot, definitely not 5'11 and a half. You can round up, that's the law. And so Steve is 6 foot tall. He's got at least a couple inches more of like bleached blonde hair, kind of anime protagonist, like swooping up.
Incredible.
And he wears like a sleeveless wizard's robe so you can see his sick biceps. But he keeps it profesh, because he also does wear a tie.
Amazing. And so as you're having this conversation, who's going to try to open the door?
Well, I think it's a little. The doorknob is like right at Claude's, like, so it's a little awkward if he tries to open it.
We're at the closet. It's like, okay, come on, let's just get in and, Floyd is just a little impatient and not necessarily the brightest bulb. It's like, here, like it.
Bizard
probably in
always
here.
knocks.
Amazing.
No,
So
too late. I already
as
opened
Floyd,
it.
as you try to open this door, and I will say that we've had an Everyone Hates Mondays donation, so there's going to be a complication behind this door for
Thank you so
all.
much.
Excellent.
Yes,
We
thank
need
you,
more
everyone,
complications with the
for
rolls we're
making-
making.
Yeah, for making this so much more difficult. Okay. Also, just for tracking donations, Floyd, you've got advantage on a roll that you can bank, and Claude, you do as well.
Excellent.
So,
thank you, donators.
yes, thank you so much. Floyd, you are going to try to open this door, but it's locked. And it doesn't seem like the door should be locked. I mean, it's a broom closet. And you are wondering where Miracle Min has gotten to. What would you like to do faced with a locked door and no custodial staff?
Oh. Why do they lock the broom closet?
That is a good question. Normally, you want cleaning supplies to be accessible readily. So this is a bit out of the ordinary. Does anyone have an ability to pick locks or some other form of opening the door?
I mean, I'm
Let's
sure I could bust
see.
it open if I wanted to, but
I
I
might
just
have
had
a-
arms day and they're tired, and I'm holding my coffee.
Let's
So
see if I've got a key. This could be the flying broom closet, and I have keys to the company broom. So let me see what I've got here, and I'm gonna search the various pockets of these shorts.
Amazing. Let's call this. I want to give you something that you're good at, or that you're supposed to be good at. Let's call it a perpetrate roll, because right now you're just focused on this task completion. Like, you
Okay.
need to get this done.
I'm going to be trying to be very encouraging as I frantically search through my pockets. No, I've definitely got this. I've definitely got a key. And I do probably on a 3,
Yes.
which I believe is a success.
A 3 is a success on your perpetrate roll. And so after roll your d6 one more time, we're going to see how many minutes it takes you to come up with the key.
Only 2 minutes.
Only 2 minutes. Amazing. Super speedy, super thorough. Come up with a key. It happens to fit the lock. It happens to be the right one. And as the door swings open, you see sitting inside both the regular copy machine and a large toad with a kind of like floppy little cap on its head, looking very unimpressed, and maybe just a little bit sleepy. Might have just woken it up from a nap.
Well, hello, old friend.
I'm assuming we know who this is, or who did this at least. Someone tends to
Claude,
turn into toads.
yes, you would recognize that the hat is exactly like the one that Miracle Min wears.
Ah, Miracle! So interesting to find you here in this broom closet. Let's see here. We really do need your help with a couple of things upstairs later. So while I know you enjoy the toad form, and I'm happy for you for that, we do need to get you to change back. And so I am going to I'm not I want to cast a spell to try and change.
Amazing. What is the spell called?
Okay, the spell is called uh That's Not Your Department, because department is one of my words of power.
Oh, perfect. If department is one of your words of power, that is amazing. Give me another delegate roll just to
All right.
see how well this actually goes for you.
Okay. That is a 7.
Amazing. So tell us what it looks like as you cast this spell on Miracle Min, who currently is a toad, but normally is not.
Yeah, you see Claude kind of looks down at his clipboard, flips through a couple pages, is like, "Ah, yes." And as he starts speaking, the words kind of come out and wrap around the toad form of Miracle Min, and it basically kind of constricts, and then with a slightly unnerving pop sound, changes the toad back into the person.
Amazing. So now sitting on top of your copy machine is Miracle Min, who still has a job here despite being a little bit disgraced, being um, a little bit kind of out of fashion, shall we say. Failed some big jobs for the king's son, and just is here. Normally takes care of the brooms, also takes care of things like maintaining the equipment for you. Looking none too pleased, slightly sleepy, slightly grumpy, and wearing a too small floppy wizard hat.
Min! So glad that we could get you out of that situation you had found yourself in, correct?
Yeah, situation that I found myself in. Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
that's it
Just
for sure.
want to remind you, Min, that you did sign several pages of documents that prevent you from suing the company for any capacity that happens on company grounds. Thank you.
I mean, there goes my retirement plan, but I guess I still have my job, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I suppose you'll be needing this.
Yes.
Kind of gestures to the copy machine that he's sitting
Yes.
on.
Yes, we do need to make a couple copies. The mimic upstairs was less than helpful, unfortunately. So if you could just hop on down, we'll get going on that.
Rather than hopping on down, which probably would have actually been easier in his toad form, he very slowly and tentatively comes down from where he's sitting on the machine, and he kind of
the entire
stands
time
over to
Claude
one
just
side.
has.
Yeah. So standing over to one side, kind of gives the copier an up and down, looks at the four of you that are standing outside, one of whom showing off them guns, like arms are out, ready for action. One of you who probably like quads are out, like those legs have got to be solid from biking to work. One of you who is a known Dynamo, and one of you who's a known Cutthroat, all fairly well proportioned individuals. And he just kind of like
And a cat.
gives the barest little like shove to the corner of the machine, and it like bumps maybe a centimeter over. Sighs, repositions, goes in for another kind of shove. Would anyone like to help him along, or are you just going to leave this to end up whenever he gets there with it?
I think we could use a little teamwork here.
Oh yeah, I can help you there. I'm gonna cast animate furniture. Furniture being one of my words of power, and just
Yes.
get the copier to walk itself back to where it should be.
Amazing. So let's do an effect roll again on that. I think that this time, because it is a real piece of furniture, your spell goes off without a hitch. Describe a little bit what that looks like for us and roll your effect so that we know how long it takes for it to walk back upstairs.
All right. That's just a 2 on the dice. So I think this spell takes a long time and is complicated because it is done all through legalese. So I'm like getting the copier to sign stuff even after it's animated. It's got to sign a couple forms.
So your 2 means that it takes 2 hours
Yeah.
for you to get this machine back into place.
2
Extra.
billable hours.
Billable hours, of course. How could I forget? Okay, you've got 2 billable hours. You definitely know that you are behind at this point. And I think we're going to fade a little bit from this scene and this vignette, which has taken place on Tuesday morning. And we're going to pick up on Tuesday afternoon. So, Steve, you've had a chance for your lunch break, maybe hit the gym.
That's definitely where I said I went.
Yeah.
The company gym.
Yeah. Your main task in this whole production is to get the marketing deck ready. And it has to be done by hand because CEO Glinta doesn't hold with any of this artificial illustration or illumination. That's not happening. So everything has to be hand drawn, pristine. And I think that as you are working on it, you realize that the legally distinct Sharpie marker that you are holding is just like, it's not cutting it anymore. It's starting to like fade out a little bit. The tip isn't as crisp as you would like those letters to be. So I think that you've got a little bit of a dilemma on your hands here in terms of figuring out what you need to do.
I'm just thinking like Steve isn't much of an art guy to begin with. He's really like, he's all about the flash. He's about the sell, being from the sales family, although he now works in marketing. I think that he takes this as a sign of like, I know Glinta wants like these hand-drawn whatevers, but like we have a whole showroom floor downstairs. Like obviously the best thing we could do is set up some like life-sized examples of what we do and what we could bring to Dijon. I don't know how to say it, but
No one knows how to say it.
But Dugan, I'm sure, would just love if we set them up like a showroom dungeon. Maybe we could set one up right here in the boardroom. And then I don't have to draw it. I could just go get the flat packs from the labyrinth downstairs.
You can certainly do that. You know that setting up a showroom with some of Junjon's products is kind of on the checklist of things. There's a couple of ways that could go. It could be like in the flagship store that you guys already have. You could do it here in the boardroom. Yeah, you've got a little bit of leeway, and at least you think you have some discretion on this. Who's going to tell you no?
Doug, but I'm not going to listen, so I didn't ask.
It does feel like if you're going for the flat pack, even though everything is flat packed, modular, ready to go for Dungeon Depot, you're going to need some help. So who from your team would you kind of bring in?
I definitely hit up Floyd. I know he's got the muscles to help me carry this furniture back up the freight elevator.
Amazing. Floyd, are you going to accept?
Sure. He's going to
Floyd, I know it's your acquisitions is your department, and I need to acquire some dungeon accoutrement from the showroom.
Yeah, fine. I mean, I don't understand why we're going through all of this stuff. If we want to acquire them, why don't we just go in and acquire them?
Hey man, that's not my department. If anything, that's your department. Why aren't we?
I don't know. I wanted to. Claude said no.
I think that Claude and Doug both said no. In this case, I think you've got a lot of folks who are not on board with a direct approach for this acquisition. All right. As the two of you go down, I'm going to need, let's call it an ideate roll from both of you to navigate through. You automatically have advantage on this because one of the strengths of your company is that in orientation, everyone has to make it through the labyrinthine floor plan, which includes the stock room and the showroom. So roll your die twice. Only one of them has to be a success.
Yeah, we had to implement that last time we lost the incoming employees.
Which would have been a legal nightmare.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Steve, how did you do on your roll to navigate?
I rolled a
1 and I rolled a, oh, sorry.
I know, I realized after I accidentally named my character Steve. Floyd is also named Steve in real life. My bad.
But that's okay.
I rolled a 3. So I had 1 success.
Okay, so we've got a success and we've got a failure.
I rolled a 1 and a 6.
Oh.
So
interesting.
Technically, we're acquiring things, which sounds like something that my department would do.
Sure, but I think it's more interesting if we play with that. Oh no, because 6 is not your top number.
No. It's
okay.
just a bad number.
Player's choice. You can call this your acquisition, but like I'm going to need you to do a lot of carrying on this. Or you do have a donation of advantage. So you could roll one more time and hope to get a 2 or a 3 on your die.
Well, sure the department can't handle this?
If your department would like to handle it, instead of rolling for ideate, just roll for effect. So roll your die, tell me what you get, and that is how many elevator freight loads you are going to have to wrangle.
4.
4 is the number of the night. Good to know. So, I think you are going to need to heft quite a lot of stuff. Steve from sales is giving you a lot of direction, but maybe not doing a
A lot
whole
of guidance.
lot of lifting. Yeah.
But once we're on the sales floor, or once we're in the stock room, there's just like there's a lot of customers, there's a lot of people to connect with. Like there's a lot of networking that I need to do. Like it's part of it's just part of the job.
Why is it every time we do this, that's what you do, and suddenly I'm carrying more stuff?
Well, see, that's why you're acquisitions and I'm marketing. We're just like killing it in our roles. You're doing great, bud. I'm always just like, I'm blown away. Like you exploding my brain right now.
I think I joined the wrong department. Push.
All right. You happened to grab the cart that does have the squeaky wheel. So it's not just push. It's push, squeak, push, squeal. And so this is a long 4.
And it pulls to the left hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a long number. You've got another advantage. So you're going to need to start using those soon because people keep on donating them.
Yep.
People are worried about you.
I don't understand why people are worried. I think
fine.
I think it's that people want to see you actually acquire things in the way you want to. That's how I'm choosing to interpret these donations.
Perfect.
So as you get this last elevator load up and over to the boardroom, Steve from sales, are you kind of paying attention to how much Floyd has done? Or are you just doing your thing out on the floor?
So there was a very attractive networking opportunity. She's blonde. So Steve is occupado.
Amazing.
I'm assuming like after a while of realizing Floyd hasn't come down for like another load and the girl has brushed Steve off, that he'll eventually meander his way back to work.
Are you sure that your networking opportunity has brushed Steve off, or do you want to roll for that?
I mean, what would the roll be?
Ooh. I mean, it feels like you're leaning into your strengths. It feels like an ID8 roll. It feels like you're,
Excellent.
relying on your wits, maybe a little bit on your BS.
That is a success. I rolled a 2.
Amazing. You've got some digits for later. Yes.
Got a sending address.
And a text or sending's done later.
Yeah. Amazing. So you eventually head upstairs, start putting together your creation. And I think we'll pick up with you a little bit later on how that goes. I think that, you've got a vision at least, and you've wrangled some help for now. But it's been a busy day, and you are 9 to 5 Bizards, unless you can bill overtime, which, maybe Doug can build a little bit of overtime today just based on the whole mimic copy machine thing, having to redo most of that 20 pages of scroll. But I think that the rest of you call it quits at your 5 o'clock and show back up on Wednesday morning, bright and early. Well, not too early, 9 o'clock. That's starting time. As we find you on Wednesday morning, remembering that everything is supposed to come together for Friday, Claude, you are in charge of setting up this kind of meeting before the CEOs get involved between your team and all of your counterparts. And so I think that that is going to be what you spend most of your morning doing. So this afternoon, you can welcome them in. Dungeon Depot looks like it's a success and like everything is running smoothly in front of your counterparts from Donjon. The big problem as you head in for 9 a.m. Is that on your common floor in kind of your regular kitchen, it looks like the spider inventory maybe escaped overnight and the kitchen is covered in cobwebs. It's either going to need that it's either going to need for you to kind of clean everything up and maybe replace some of the things that were there. Or you do also know that the executive conference room is always very well stocked. What would you like to do, Claude?
Well, this is a sticky situation. Let's see. So it's covered in cobwebs. I need to clear the cobwebs and restock the kitchen, or close the door and head up to the executive suite,
Or a third thing that you
or
think
a third
of?
thing. Yeah, I think Claude would kind of see all these spider webs everywhere, shudder a little bit, and just kind of quietly close the door behind him, and kind of look around, make sure none of the other people saw that, and he's going to head upstairs to the executive suite, kind of slowly. He's chatting with people. He's fake it till you make it. You look like you're supposed to be going somewhere. Most people won't question you on it. And he's going to try and get into the executive conference room suite.
Amazing. So you have to go up a couple more floors for that. And as you are going up in the elevator, you happen to run into the director of Humanoid Resources. So essentially, your boss is there, and their name is Prolifero. He's an older, more senior wizard. Always has a little bit like of a windswept, storm-blown look, and not the easiest to talk to. A little bit imposing, especially from his human height down to you. And so kind of steps on and is like, oh, Claude,
Prolifero, good morning.
how's it going?
Well, bright and sunny day here at Dungeon Depot.
Better sun than storms. And he kind of, for some reason, his robes are always a little bit like damp as well, which you're sure must be some kind of HR violation. But you just haven't been able to figure out how to address that with him yet, since he
Yeah,
is your
because
boss.
and then there's the whole thing with maybe it's part of his ancestry, and then that gets into a whole thing with HR, and yeah, so it's best to just kind of look the other way sometimes.
Sometimes it is. Um, and as you're going up in this lift, it's one of those older ones that you need to like crank to go. And so
Great.
normally there's a little goblin in there that like turns the elevator crank and makes it go up and down. And Prolifero kind of just puts his hand on top of this elevator goblin's head, pushes it back away from the crank a little bit, and you are stopped between floors now. So, Claude, I mean, I've been wanting to say, what an excellent job you're doing.
Oh, why, that's
You've
very
just-
generous.
You've taken so much initiative. I know that you're always in here, very positive. You know,
Positive.
so positive. And I mean, you've got 4 of them. So, like, 4 times as positive as so many of our other employees. I just, you know, it's amazing. I wish that more of our staff, more of my staff, were like you.
That is such a wonderful thing to say. You know, I try to really lead by example. I find that if you really display what the behavior that you want to see other people, they will usually, kind of mimic what they see. So I try to be a little positive, be a little upbeat, and I find that it makes those around me feel so much better.
Mhm. As you're having this conversation, you know that this is kind of like the main elevator that people use. Um, Doug probably doesn't use the elevator, probably takes the stairs. It's a little bit more green, a little bit more friendly for the planet.
Gotta get
Um,
my steps in.
obviously. But Steve from sales or Floyd, are either of you arriving at work and needing to um, get up to your desk and not wanting to take the stairs?
What time is it?
It's probably still early in the day. Claude strikes me as someone who gets in and gets going quite
If
early.
you're
Does
10
that
minutes
sound
early, then you're on time.
Yeah, Steve's definitely popping in more like 9:15, 9:30.
amazing? And are you just waiting for the
Floyd's up at
elevator?
the same time. Yeah. Starting to ring the bell. What's going on?
Okay. So Claude, you can hear echoing in the elevator shaft around you that bells are going off. You can see that this little goblin, who would normally be turning the elevator crank, is slightly distressed by the bells. You're not sure whether it's like just an innate reaction that they have to it, um, whether they're just intimidated by having so many people from Humanoid Resources in the elevator at one time. But it seems to not be a great sitch, and Prolifero doesn't really seem to be in the mood to move.
Gotcha. Um, well, it does sound like someone's coming and knocking. Seems like maybe some of the other wonderful coworkers here at Dungeon Depot Corporation might need to use this elevator. Perhaps we could move along and then you and I could get a chance to speak a little later today.
I'm going to ask you for probably an ideate roll,
Oh,
not
great.
a delegate roll.
Dang it.
Just because like you're trying to maneuver around your superior.
Okay.
You do have advantage.
Yes, I do.
You have a donated advantage, which will use yours up. So
I feel like I'm gonna need it. This is in front of my boss, so I don't want to mess this up here.
mhm.
All right. I got a 2.
Amazing. So that is a success. Um, do you use like body language or like what do you do to really sell your point?
It's the smile. big smile showing off those canines.
Showing off the
And
canines,
just,
yes.
Kill them with kindness.
Amazing. So you are going to kind of just stand there smiling. Almost anyone else would think that it was a beat too long, right? That you were just taking a little bit too much time. But Prolifero kind of looks you up, down, gives a little okay. Pushes the elevator goblin back to their post, and the elevator begins to move again. I'm going to get you to roll your die
All right.
for effect, but it's going to be a high versus low.
Okay.
So if you get a 6 through 10, your elevator is going to keep on going up.
Oh.
If you do a 1 through 5, it's going to go down.
All right. Luna, you gonna help me here?
Chat wants Luna to help. 100%.
Well, she must have
100%.
because I got a 9.
Amazing. So you continue upwards. Your director gets off on the same floor as you are, but heads in a different direction. And you are able to exit and try to head towards the executive conference room.
Just kind of slip away. Those quiet cat paws.
Yeah. We're going to pan away from you there, go back down to the ground floor. Has either Floyd or Steve from sales kind of given up, or are you both still waiting for this elevator?
Steve took this as another networking opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to the dryad at reception.
Amazing. Does Steve know her name?
Steve forgot.
Okay, great. You're just gonna have to go with that then. Roll your ID8 just because you can.
That's a 3.
What would you like the outcome of this to be?
I ask her if she wants to go out for have meat orbs for lunch together today in the cafeteria.
Amazing. You have a lunch date for meat orbs in the cafeteria with the dryad from reception. There you go. The elevator comes down to you, and both you and Floyd are able to get in. Are you headed to the same place? Are you headed back to like your regular boardroom? What's your plan?
I've got to go back to finishing setting up my showroom, my boardroom showroom, boardroom show boardroom.
Perfect.
Floyd's heading back to his desk to, check on any electronic parchment.
Absolutely. All right, let's start with your electronic parchment. Give me an effect roll, which is just roll your die and tell me what you get.
Yeah. 5.
5. You have 5 unread parchments on your desk. Only about half of them are urgent, really. But, it could keep you busy for the morning. You are, you've been asked to update your passwords, and you're like, passwords? What passwords? Like, as you're looking around at your desk, You're like, huh, passwords. So that memo came to you from legal. So that's something that is on your list to tackle. And you also see a parchment that you must have missed, or maybe it got misdirected and is only just now landing on your desk. But it was supposed to arrive to you 2 weeks ago. And it's concerning the kind of realm's supervisory officer who needs to approve any mergers, acquisitions, all that kind of thing. And it turns out that the date of the appointment was set for today. So that might be a problem for you, given that the contract's not done. And you have a meeting with your counterparts from Donjon later this afternoon. So you've got a couple of fires on your desk. Is there one that you would like to tackle?
What the heck this passport, whatever thing is. I'll ask Doug about it later. Give me something. I better figure out this contract thing. Why is it sitting here? I'm sure that we gave that to legal for review. Yeah, there's two things. I guess I better go talk to Doug.
Amazing. Doug, does Floyd find you at your desk?
I think I emerged from the stairwell. It's a lot of stairs, even though I arrived early. I arrived perfectly at this time as Doug is getting up from his desk, because, of course, a Bizard arrives exactly when he means to.
Absolutely.
Love it.
And I say, Floyd, my man, did you get those PDFs, those parchments delivered to Floyd?
He holds them up and goes, "Is that what these things are?"
Yeah, those are parchments delivered to you, so the PDFs.
Yeah.
We can try and it's a new acronym we're using in extra legal.
Yes. So great. Where's the parchment that I sent over to you guys for review? Because there's a meeting this afternoon to go over the contract. And of course, it's been sitting with you guys, I'm pretty sure.
Well, did you send it to extra legal, or did you send it to extra legal, or did you send it to legal?
This
There's
sounds
a
like
difference?
it sounds like there might be a little bit of a rule here. And I think that, again, we're not going to lean into one of your strengths. This is going to be an ID8 role. It's going to be kind of relying on your memory, your knowledge, your wits for this. So you only succeed on a 2 or a 3, but you've got a couple of donated advantages here. Also,
I feel I'm going to need them.
Also, Doug, just so that we're thanking people for their donations, you've got an extra spell that you can
Fantastic.
use.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, chat, for donating. Yeah. Floyd, give me your roll.
Well, I got an 8. So that's the maximum. And a 6. So
Oh.
yeah. So.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Tell me how your hammer can help you succeed in remembering where you sent the parchments.
Well, it is the hammer of persuasion. So he puts the parchments in one hand, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out, at this point in time, it's a small persuader hammer. So it's, and he just kind of goes, and starts tapping it into his hand, looking at Doug, going, I'm pretty sure I sent it to somebody in legal, and you guys are all the same. So I want to know who in your department has it.
I guess is that we're gonna get that shot where like I grow very tall and like all the shadows deep. How dare you accuse me of being someone from Simply Legal? But really, no,
Yes,
it's
they
probably
have.
they probably messed it up. So we should go down there and sort of figure it out with them. They're, I mean, they don't even have an extra in their name, so they're really slow down there. Let's go solve this together. Bring the hammer.
Amazing.
Oh, it goes with me everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll get my
Doug,
sword, actually. I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so as Doug with your sword and Floyd with your hammer head down to legal, Steve, you're in a boardroom by yourself with a lot of flat packs. You also have a donated advantage,
Yes, thank you for the donation.
just in case
Not that I
you
need
need to
it.
do something that is not ideating, just in case.
Well, in this case, I think I probably am still ideating for the moment. Steve's vision is that we can set up like a classic dungeon kind of experience. You know, the things that Dungeon Depot is best known for Dungeon. And I'm gonna get some of the flat pack monsters, especially some of the like jump scare monsters. You know, you get some like skeletons that like pop out of a hole, or maybe a gelatinous cube. But I'm gonna give them some like signage that says like Q4 earnings, a reliable customer base, consistent brand image. You know, really zhuzh
All
the
right.
numbers.
So you're thinking or you're creating these signs?
Ooh, I guess I am at this point. Would that be perpetuating? If I'm creating?
Perpetrating, I think that this is like,
Perpetrating.
yeah, one of those rare occasions where Steve from sales has to do a little bit of hard work, needs to be on task.
Can I use our company strength from our SWOT analysis that we can decipher even the most abstract of flat pack directional booklets?
Yes, tell me more.
Well, because I am using our own products in the creation of this sort of presentation. These would otherwise be extremely difficult for the average person, but part of our training as Dungeon Depot execs is that we have to be ultra familiar with the product line. And so that part's a breeze, even though I love working.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, that'll give you advantage on this. You succeed on a 3, 4, or 5, but given that you are the innovator, your die only goes up to 4. So you succeed on a 3 or a 4.
Yeah. I did get a 3.
Amazing. So you set to work. The boardroom slowly, like throughout the morning, fills up with empty boxes, discarded extra bits, because there's always those extra bits in the box.
Yeah, there's a pile of like screws, even though nothing has screws on it, and
Yeah.
it's made with magic.
Yes. And you've also tossed away a couple of, like tab A into fold B pieces because it's staying up fine
Yeah.
without those.
We put those in for the experience. It's about a user experience.
Yeah.
It's value add.
And so you are slowly building up a classic dungeon experience in the boardroom of Dungeon Depot. It's going pretty well, despite the fact that it is going to be kind of a lot for you in terms of actually needing to work. But I think lunchtime rolls around. You've got that
I've got to
dryad waiting
ponder
for
some
you.
meat orbs, which is what I say before every date.
Amazing. Is it a date? Is it a date that you're having with the dryad from reception?
I don't know that we like officially called it anything. Like Steve doesn't really do a fish on any,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But no, it's just meat orbs. Just meat orbs in the company cafeteria.
Yeah. So
we're known for our meat orbs at Dungeon Depot.
As you head back down to reception, I think we'll pan away from your date, but we know that you're having not a date. Not a date. It's just meat orbs in the cafeteria. Let's go back to Claude. Claude
Yes.
and the executive conference room.
Yes.
Yes. What are you hoping to find here?
Well, I know that in the higher level suites, they have various things to keep the boardrooms and the rooms and everything clean passively. Some of them have vacuum familiars. Some of them have automatic gelatinous cubes. So I'm kind of looking for something that I can just kind of toss into the room and close the door, and it'll clean up all the cobwebs.
Ooh, are you going back to cobwebs, or are you on the executive floor trying to pilfer their good
Yes,
stuff?
I'm on the executive floor trying to pilfer their stuff so that I can go back and clean the cobwebs with that stuff.
Okay. I got you. A little sidestep from where I thought we were going. Amazing. Okay. You know, because you're a manager, that this stuff isn't really supposed to leave the executive level, and that if anyone catches you taking things from the executive level back down to the common workplaces and workspaces, that it could be trouble, especially after you just had that great chat with Prolifero this morning in the elevator. So tell me how you're going to try and go about acquiring some of these supplies.
Right. So, as a cat, you move quite silently. He's also pretty short. So most people quite literally look over top of him. So he will just, like I said, he's kind of walking confidently, looking like he knows where he's going. But also trying to kind of stay out of the viewpoints of people. And when he gets to the door, is it open or is it closed?
It is closed. All of the doors on
Hmm.
this floor seem to be closed, despite the fact that you know that there's supposedly an open door policy here at Dungeon Depot. You're seeing an awful lot of closed doors.
Closed doors. I
at this
might have
point.
to bring that back to Humanoid Resources.
Mhm.
But for now, are these doorknobs the kind that you have to turn or the ones that are like levers?
They're all levers. I mean,
Excellent.
it's a fully accessible workplace.
Of course,
For sure. I will also remind you, however, that CEO Glinta, her epithet is the bright for good reason, and that very recently there was a company-wide flare policy instituted. And so
Right.
while you might normally, as a cat, be quite stealthy and able to sneak around a little bit, you must have no fewer than 5 pieces of flair on you at all times.
And Claude's an overachiever, so you know he's got 7.
So I think that it's going to be a little bit tough for you to sneak around. You can still
Okay.
try it, but it's definitely going to be at a disadvantage.
All right. Could I cast a spell to help with that?
Absolutely. What spell would you like to cast?
Okay, so I'm going to cast Dreams of Awareness, which are 2 of my power words.
Mhm. And what does Dreams of Awareness look like, and what does it do?
So Dreams of Awareness looks not like much because it basically kind of shields you from people's view. If people look directly at you, they kind of get a little groggy and go back to what they were doing. So it's not invisibility or anything like that, but it is kind of like, oh, what's over? I don't need to look at that.
Amazing. Okay, so you've cast this spell on yourself to help you out with it. Roll for effect and see how long it lasts in minutes.
Okay, let's see here. Um, 5.
5. All right, you've got 5 minutes of your Dreams of Awareness. The door isn't locked, at least. It's just
Good.
closed. So as you open the door, you see this conference room that is kind of like twice the size of the boardroom that's downstairs that you're supposed to be preparing this meeting in. It is pristine, gleaming. All of the tables in here kind of have drapey tablecloths over them. And I think you would note that that's how kind of all of the behind the scenes stuff gets hidden here at Dungeon Depot. There's a lot of tablecloths, there's a lot of flowing sheets, flowing drapes, capes, swags on curtains that don't necessarily need to be there. Anything that can hide what's actually doing the work.
Absolutely.
So you have a pristine room and 5 minutes of being less noticeable to people.
All right, so Claude is going to not close the door behind him because he does follow the policies. Um, and he's going to kind of glance around real quick and see if he can find. He knows that sometimes, like the gelatinous cubes that they have automatically roam will have like a little hole in the wall that they come out of and then go back into automatically. So he's gonna kind of scan along the baseboards and see if one is installed in this room.
Oh, do we want to make it a roll? We'll make it a roll.
We'll make it a roll. That's always more fun.
It's your perception, which is an ideate roll. Only a 2 or a 3 succeeds. It's okay. You got this.
Okay. I already used my chat advantage, so here we go. Hey, it's not a 2 or a 3, but it is a 10.
Ooh, it's a 10. Tell us about your secret edge and how it applies in this case.
Absolutely. So like I said, Claude always carries a little clipboard with him. And that clipboard is pretty special. It's called the folder of I have a form for that. So what he does is he flips through his pages, finds what he's looking for, and hastily fills out the form. And then once he rips it from the folder, it kind of folds itself into like origami, and then for this particular form, it will scurry around the edges looking for the cleaning cubes, and once it finds one, it will turn into like an origami swan and start flapping its wings.
Amazing. So you fold your paper, it runs out, and within a relatively short order, because I think it can sense the urgency of your request as well. And I mean, hey, it wants to be a team player.
Absolutely. We're all team
Yeah.
players here.
We are going to have you find those cleaning cubes. They are kind of halfway across the room, and yeah, hidden underneath one of the like sideboard tables where normally there would be coffee, tea, that kind of thing. The room isn't set up for a meeting right now, and so all of the dishes are kind of like upside down in like their neutral, not being used position. But there are those on top of the table, and then underneath, if you flip up the bright purple tablecloth, then
Excellent.
yeah.
So I think once he's located where the cleaning cubes are kind of coming from, he will see that there's all the cups and stuff up there, and so he's going to get up on his tippy toes and grab one of the cups, and once he sees one of the cleaning cubes go by headed towards the hole in the wall, he's going to try and catch the cleaning cube under the cup and then slide a piece of paper underneath it.
Okay. This do you feel like this is kind of exercise, hard work, and task completion, or do you feel like this is a little bit of violence towards this cleaning cube, taking it away from its designated task and space?
Well, Claude never resorts to violence until the clods come off, but I think it's more of the first one.
Okay, so let's make it a perpetrate roll.
Okay, is that the one I gave myself disadvantage on? It is. I'm overworked at the moment. So I'm going to have disadvantage on this one. All right. What do I need to get? 3, 4, or 5? Oh boy.
Yep.
Hey, I got a 3 and a 5.
Amazing. Which is what needs to happen with disadvantage.
Oh, that's
both
right.
need, yes. On disadvantage, they both need to be successes. Otherwise, you still fail.
Right.
So you use your cat-like reflexes. They're not cat-like. They are cat reflexes.
They are cat reflexes.
And despite the fact that you are overworked, you are going to be able to pounce, get that cup over top of the cleaning cube. Are you satisfied with just one, or do you want to try for more?
Well, he knows that dreams of awareness doesn't last forever. So he thinks that since it's a much smaller room downstairs, that just one of the cleaning cubes from the executive suite will be enough to clean that one. So he's going to kind of cut his ties with what he's got.
Okay. We'll see how that works out for you.
He thinks it's going to work out great.
You manage to make your way with your cleaning cube in a cup back to the elevator. I think you need to drop your spell once you get in the elevator for the elevator goblin to notice you, unless you're just gonna like turn the crank yourself.
No, I don't think
be fine.
That would be a little tough for him to do, especially with the goblin right there. So I think he will drop the spell, but he'll turn the cup up and kind of like fold the paper down around it so it looks like he's just carrying a coffee cup.
Amazing. All right. So you make your way back downstairs. Let's finish off kind of this set of Wednesday morning scenes with Doug and Floyd. You've gone down to legal, regular legal, to find out what happened with the scheduling of this inspection regarding the acquisition. How do you feel about being down here, first of all?
Oh, it's so normal.
It's certainly not extra. You see that regular legal is actually 3 floors below you. So your 2 extras get you 3 floors somehow. And it is filled with standard desks. Like they're all a standard size, although accommodations have been made for the various magical creatures that are in here. And you see that most of these folks are consulting a parchment and then like running tallies kind of thing. That it's not the type of work that you do in terms of, you know, actually filling in the blanks on boilerplate contracts. It is just checking to make sure that a contract is in place for a situation should it come up, maybe. And so it's fairly mundane work as far as being a business wizard goes. And there isn't really anyone to greet you on this floor or in this department. Floyd, I think you try not to spend any time with any of the legal folks unless you absolutely have to. Again, your approach to acquisition is very different than theirs. And so seeing this mundane parchment work on all of these desks maybe just gives you a little bit of a shudder.
Oh yeah, gives them a big shudder because you know they feel like prosecutors. Sorry, I mean he doesn't like this kind of stuff. So he's looking around going, who the heck has my contracts?
Are you going to, how are you going to approach this? Are you going to approach it by just looking? Are you going to try to find someone to talk to? Are you going to use a spell to see if you can find the contract?
I think he's going to use.
I can distract them while you do whatever your department does.
Yeah, well, I'm going to cast a spell that distract him for a minute.
All right, I'm also going to cast a spell, which is snacks for everyone, and I'm just going to summon a bunch of just real basic donuts for these guys.
Donuts from Doug the Green.
I don't know who they're from. They're here. They're for everybody. Snacks for everybody.
Okay.
They're vegan and organic.
Okay.
If you want them to be vegan or organic, and they're not vegan or organic or gluten-free if you don't want that, they're snacks for everyone.
Great. So there is a variety of snacks for everyone that comes out. That is going to happen no matter what. But I think how successful you are in terms of hiding the fact or concealing that they're from you is going to be the thing that needs a roll here. And I think that will be, do you feel like this is task completion, or do you feel like this is you using your wits and your BS again?
I think this is task completion. I'm just making it happen without being seen. You know,
Okay.
I'm tasking it to someone else. No, maybe not someone else. I'm just having a summon here. But maybe I have to take off the little labels that indicate that it was from me. Got to complete
Yes,
that
the
task.
the kind of like signature that comes with your spell, you just have to make sure that that is off of all of the boxes. Amazing. Roll a perpetrate to see how successful that is.
All right. That is unfortunately a 2. It's a lot of boxes.
It is a lot of boxes. And as they kind of appear off to one side, they actually appear on the counter where like some of the longer legal parchments would normally be like unrolled for like inspection to make sure that they don't have any spelling errors or to, you know, confirm that it has all the most up-to-date language. That's what these folks down here are doing. So your donuts, basic donuts, but in a variety of gluten-free, not gluten-free, vegan, not vegan, dairy-free, all of the things, appear and kind of just overtake the entire parchment that's on the counter. But as the wizards here kind of see them appear, they start making their way over. But they're like, oh, Doug the Green, hey, thanks for the snacks. And
hey,
like you're
I
actually
definitely remember your name.
you are starting to kind of like gather a little bit of a crowd, which is the distraction that you promised, but maybe not quite in the way that you wanted it to go. So Floyd, while all of these workers are distracted, what is it that you would like to do? You said you also have a spell to cast.
Yeah, Floyd is going to cast, you know, one of his favorite spells for finding things. You know, in the acquisitions, it's important. It's called A Sight for Sore Eyes. And
Okay.
when he casts it, it automatically finds whatever sight he's looking for, spots it, and identifies it.
Oh, amazing. Your spell will be successful because it leans into things that you are good at. I'm going to get you to roll for effect just to see how long it takes. And because rolling dice is fun.
3.
That's not terrible. 3 donuts worth of time. Right? I mean,
so what you're saying is like 16.8 seconds.
Oh, yes. I believe that is the current conversion.
yes. So relatively quickly, you are able to find what you are looking for. It's on a desk that is like off to the corner, and as you get closer to it, you realize that it's not actually the contract itself, but what you're looking at and what your spell has found is the scheduling book for this appointment. So you see kind of, it's not even penciled in anymore. You can see the pencil marks underneath where it has been boldly inked over. Wizard of the Realm, Yowl, 2 p.m. Wednesday. And it just says acquisitions review beside that. And so that is that's what you're able to find. So you can see who kind of made this appointment for you that you knew nothing about. And it is on the desk of a young witch named Tome Summerborn. She is currently over, probably on her 4th vegan donut, and kind of like animatedly trying to get in front of Doug, just to be like, oh yeah, like, hi, extra legal. Yeah, Tome Summerborn. I know I'm relatively new here, but like, I just admire how much you care about the environment and like what our magic does to the realm. It really speaks to me in such an extra way. And so she's just chattering away, really.
Just an extra way. Oh, interesting. I kind of maybe see that Floyd has found this paper, and I'm gonna sort of look at him over the crowd and go, "Fly, you fool!"
Floyd, are
Except
you
that I
going
don't think it's
to?
got. I don't think he's got what he needs yet. Like he still doesn't
maybe
have the actual doc. You know, like whatever is supposed to be reviewed.
Let's do it this way. Doug, give me a perception roll, which is ideate in this case. So 2 or 3. How are we doing on that?
I think it was you, Doug.
Yeah, Doug.
Oh, me,
Doug.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I did, yeah, okay.
Doug, perception.
That is a 6 on my dice, which is my
Okay.
highest number.
It is your highest number. So it wouldn't normally be a success, but tell me how you use your sword to help you succeed in perceiving.
I'm gonna draw a sword. I'm gonna start making threats. If you get out of my way. Important business. What's that, Floyd? You need help?
So I think that you are able to get away from this group of kind of newer legal staff. Some of them are even interns, probably. And it's been a while since you were an intern, for sure. And you can make your way over to the desk where Floyd is standing. And once you're there, you very clearly see that it's definitely not going to plan. Like, this isn't the contract itself. This is the appointment that's been booked for Floyd, and really your entire team, for the realm to review the merger with Donjon.
That's okay. I think I have a spell for this.
Amazing.
Because we have their name now, and that's very important in Magic.
It is.
To have the name. So I'm going to cast the spell, which is the summoned vegetable, which will be hereafter referred to as the broccolini of bureaucrat banishment, will banish the bureaucrat, thus named, and I forget the name that is on the thing, but I'll include that in the spell.
You are banishing the wizard Yowl?
Yes.
The realm's inspector?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think we like maybe flash down to the downstairs where they're coming in, and some broccolinis start like growing up out of the ground, like wrap around their wrists, and drag them down into a demiplane. And that's pretty much solved, I think. So
That's how we do it in extra legal.
Amazing. Yeah, the wizard Yowl is wrapped in broccolini and disappeared out of this realm. Give me an effect roll.
Sure.
This is going to be in days.
2 days. I feel like that's enough for us to lock this down.
And then
feel
it's
like-
Saturday. Or no, I guess Friday.
It'll be
Friday.
Friday. It'll be
Or
Friday. in
like
2 days.
Friday afternoon, and no one does any work on a Friday afternoon.
And all of this is supposed to be wrapped up by then. Right? So you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's
Oh,
all
what could go wrong?
going to be great. Okay. Amazing. So Floyd, do you feel reassured now that you've taken care of one of your 2 PDFs at least?
Yep. It's like, oh, well, good. I guess I can scratch that one off of the calendar that I didn't even know I had. Do you know anything about these password things? What is a password?
Oh, I think I'm far too old to deal with passwords. I just set everything to friend in Elvish, and that just works for me.
As you
I
say
don't
this
know
out
Elvish.
loud, in a room full of junior legal staff,
Yeah,
Doug?
sure.
Yeah?
Why
Yeah.
not?
They're
Sure.
legal, not IT.
Yeah.
Amazing. Give me another effect roll.
Oh,
That's a 1.
That's a 1.
Yeah.
I think you kind of see out of the corner of your eye that as you say friend in Elvish, that someone's quill starts like scribbling furiously. Like you can hear that. You're attuned to the sound of it. And so your head like kind of whips around, but folks are all starting to go back to their desks now. So you feel like this is going to be fine. Totally fine. No concerns from the extra legal side. Are you going to help Floyd figure out what's supposed to happen with the passwords, or are you just going to tell him that and you leave it?
Oh, well, we have a saying in extra legal, which is "you shall not password." So I'm afraid I've got to be hands off on this one.
Yeah. Well, maybe I've got some around my desk somewhere. I'll go back to the desk and take a look
Yeah,
at
like
it.
Steve's
So,
good with words, and what is a password if not a word?
well, I mean, well, maybe it's like it's lunchtime though. He's probably hitting somebody up in the restaurant, in the cafeteria, like he always seems to be
Oh,
doing
yes,
that.
we should all go ponder our meat orbs.
Well, I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna try and figure out this password thing. So I'll meet you down there.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Amazing. All right. So Steve from sales is at lunch. Doug the Green is at lunch. Claude, have you released your cleaning cube and are also headed down for lunch, or what are you going to do? You know that like breaks are fairly well mandated in the humanoid resources policy.
yes, especially. You must take a break every 6 hours or, someone can get in trouble. So yeah, he'll definitely kind of glance at his wrist where there's a little sundial and realize that, ooh, I really need to get a break in. So he will go over to the door um that is hiding all the cobwebs and just kind of glance left, right, open it, toss it, close it, and then head down to the cafeteria.
Perfect. All right. So that leaves us with Floyd. You head back to your desk. As you head back to your desk, give me an ideate roll, which is going to be a 2 or a 3 to succeed. And I feel like you've still got an
I
advantage.
have one advantage left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing because I got a 7 out of 3.
All right. you can see that something has been moved on your desk. Things have been rearranged. Parchments are not exactly where you left them.
That's suspicious. Who's been looking at my desk?
There's no one in the immediate area that you can see. But maybe this has something to do with this password that you were supposed to figure out.
Could be, maybe. Starts looking through his papers and see what he can find on his desk besides the other stuff, and opens his drawer, and inside the drawer there's this little sticky parchment. It's like with like 4 different words on it, like 3 scratched out, and the last one is friend, but not in Elvish.
But not in Elvish.
And it's like, oh, that's what it is. It's that, okay, I need to write. So he scratches out friend and writes down enemy.
Perfect.
And then closes the drawer again because,
As you close the door, there's just a little, like, almost an imperceptible hum. You feel it more than you hear it. But there's this little vibration that goes through your desk. And all of a sudden, it's almost like there's a kind of like filter or film placed over top of the desk. And that this seems familiar now. You know that all you have to do is reach for the drawer where you've put the password, say the password, and your desk will be yours again.
Yep.
So I have a question for you, Floyd. Do you keep any souvenirs or documentation about your past in your work desk?
Not really, no.
Not really. Do you have any personal items at all on your work desk?
Well, there's a blackjack in the bottom drawer, and but other than that, not much. Maybe some brass knuckles.
Okay, so it's more objects than accounts or anything like that.
No, we never write anything down about stuff like that.
Of course.
Just tools of the trade.
So you've dealt with 2 out of the 5 parchments that you received this morning. How closely did you look at the ones that didn't seem urgent, the other 3?
It just glanced at them, said, oh, they're probably not, they don't say important, so he's ignoring them.
Correct. There is definitely one that did not seem important at all, but it was, you kind of recall, it was signed by the Russo family. And this to you is not great news. And if you go back through after seeing that your desk has been messed with while you left it unlocked and not password protected, that parchment, which just had like the most innocuous opening line, like, hey, finally found you, can't wait to catch up. Isn't there anymore.
Uh-oh. At this
Whoa.
point in time, he's like, damn it. The Russos? That's not optimal.
Yeah. After this, do you go down and join everyone for lunch? Okay.
Yep.
Amazing. This is going to be like a nice casual scene that we'll have in the cafeteria. A chance for all of you to interact a little bit more on your Wednesday of our game week. And then after that, we'll take a little bio break for us, donation break for the folks out there. So let's popcorn around. Do you want to start since you're the last one who gets there?
Sure. It's like, hey, Doug, I figured out what that password thing was.
Oh, do tell.
It's that paper inside your desk drawer that tells you what to lock your stuff or something.
Fascinating.
My desk went fuzzy after I changed it.
Oh, that's so that those magic constructs can't read your desk.
Magic constructs, eh? I seem to be missing a PDF when I got back, though. That was interesting. But
Well,
I'm sure it's
that's
nothing.
concerning.
Sure
hopefully it's not anything that comes to like a legal situation. That would be bad, and someone might have to deal with it.
I'm sure it's not going to be a legal situation. Might be an illegal situation, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Hey, Claude, how was your morning? Muted.
We can't hear you.
My bad. It was very good. I caught up with what was his name? Prolifero?
Mhm.
Yeah. Caught up with Prolifero in the elevator. Lovely chat, lovely gentleman. But other than that, it's been pretty uneventful. How about you?
Well, we had apparently we had a meeting at 2:00 this afternoon, but
I don't believe I
Doug is
got a correspondence for that.
Yeah, apparently it was in my spam folder.
I'll have to
under
check
some
my
food.
PDCs.
Yeah. But Doug took care of it.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
good.
know what he did, but
Well,
apparently they're not around anymore.
Does anybody
Hey, it's
really
dealt
know
with.
what
No
goes
need
on?
to. We really don't need to ask questions about it. It's the the mysteries of the universe and all that sort of stuff.
It's perfect. So is Steve
Yes.
around us, or are we looking over at Steve at eating with the eating?
Well, I guess my question was, I think Steve was here first.
Yes.
Did you guys invade his lunch with the dryad, or did you let him work his magic?
I don't think Claude
His
would
real
have
magic.
gotten in his way, but he's definitely sitting nearby so that he can keep one of his cat ears pointed to make sure no funny business is going on.
No, it's not too funny. It's and you could tell that from the look on the dryad's face. It's definitely not. No, Steve is mostly talking about his cool new watch. It's it's interplanetary, like the sundial. It's just so dated. And it's just like all these little floating planets. And it's trying to think of a fantasy version of a Rolex. But I don't have the brain power for a pun on Rolex.
We'll find
Imagine
one after the break. Yeah,
we'll find one after the break. We'll come back with an incredible Rolex fantasy pun.
Sounds amazing.
As we all start typing like mad.
Yeah.
So on that note, assuming that the Blair Wizard behind the scenes is ready for us, we're going to take a short break for our players to rehydrate, recaffeinate, stretch, and possibly find some better behaved dice, maybe ones that roll something other than a 4. So we are going to encourage
5.
you who are watching to take these few minutes for yourself, as well as checking out the Andrea's Adventurers auction items or making a donation to complicate the second half of our game. Thank you so much, Andrea, and welcome back to Business Wizards, the first game of Andrea's Adventurers 2025 charity stream in support of the Canadian Cancer Society. I am your project manager, Kat, and before we jump back in with our Bizards, I want to remind you that your donation can help or hinder the rest of the game as follows. So for $10, you can give advantage to any of our players. For $25, you can give them a spell page, which is an auto success. For $50, you can add a threat to the quest that they are on. We might need a few more complications just to make it fun. For $75, you can sponsor a coffee break, which would reduce one stress for a PC, which honestly, aside from those first few rolls, they're mostly doing pretty well right now. I'm going to get them to give you a rundown of how much stress they have as we come back. And at $200, you can join our game and become a remote working Bizard by naming the spell that you cast to help the team in their quest. So our story so far, these folks need to successfully complete a presentation for a merger with a foreign company, Dungeon, to expand into a mid-market segment of the modular and prefabricated dungeon market. Dungeon Depot has that quick, ready-to-go market locked up, but your CEO, Glinta, maybe has some bigger ambitions there. We started off on Tuesday with a mimic having replaced your copy machine. And after longer than it should have taken to deal with that, you had that kind of squared away, taken care of. The mimic has been dispatched. The copy machine is back in place. Steve from sales, with the help of Floyd, doing most of the work to move items from the showroom and storehouse floor up to the boardroom in lieu of creating a presentation deck. Steve wants it to be a little bit more experiential, shall we say. So that's in progress. Claude, meanwhile, is trying to, I guess, shall we say, make the place presentable for your compatriots, your counterparts from this other company, Dungeon, that needs to come in here. A preliminary meeting before your big presentation on Friday. And Doug's just holding down the extra legal department, making sure that everything is done by the book. No loose ends here. All of the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and things are rolling. So let's go around one more time to reintroduce your characters. Let us know where you are in this moment and how stressed out you are about your job so far. We're going to start with Claude, our manager, again.
I am playing Claude Guru with 3 R's. Currently Claude's a little overworked. But other than that, he's having a pretty good day, pondering his meat orbs on this lunch break and feeling like he's in a good spot.
Steve playing Floyd. He's in acquisitions. He's just a tiny bit stressed about getting things done. No.
Amazing.
Stu playing Doug the Green, feeling a little existential. Is it time, to change the old colors? Head back to the, maybe go to grad school in the Undying Lands. I don't know.
Amazing.
And I'm Maggie, and Steve from sales. No stress, breezing in his lane. Currently pondering orbs with the dryad from reception and showing off his Trollex.
Hey.
There we go. We got
That's
there
why we
over
had
the
the
break.
break.
Yes. And you also just got a donation of a new spell sheet. So you have one more spell that you can use
And I haven't
today.
cast a spell yet, so I'm loaded.
Amazing. So when we left, you were at lunch in the cafeteria. I think that one by one, everyone else kind of goes back to their desks. Steve from sales, you were the first one here. You're going to be the last one out. Do you want this lunch with a coworker to develop into something more, or are you just done with this triad at reception right now?
I think he's probably Steve's done with her. Yeah, no, she wasn't that into his Trollex.
Just
She wasn't hyped
coworkers.
enough.
Yeah.
So the vibes just aren't there.
Okay. Amazing.
I also never remembered her name. So
I mean, a good bet is that like maybe it was Willow. Maybe. There are a lot of Willows who work here.
Steve doesn't want to sound racist. You know?
That's fair. That's fair because Dungeon Depot is accepting of all magical beings, no matter where they come from or how they have obtained that magic. Okay. So, Claude, before you left for lunch, you had tossed a little cleaning cube into a room that was covered in cobwebs.
And I'm sure everything is perfectly fine.
How do you think that delegation went?
Like I said, everything is perfectly fine.
Everything's
No
perfectly
notes.
fine. Amazing. Let's roll a delegate and see whether or not that's true.
All right.
Only because you delegated to the cleaning cube.
This is true. This is true. Okay. I don't have advantage. The rolls continue. That's a 2.
That's a 2. A little bit more stress for you.
Yep. I think he's getting a little existential here. Can't
Check
seem
off
to do
another
anything.
Box. You open the door that you had closed. Did you put a sign or anything on the door, like an out of order or like?
I think he would have like the paper that he had over the cup. He would have taken off, and after he tossed the cup in there, he would have been like, and like kind of put it up. But he's also only 3 feet tall, so it's at like his eye level.
Right, so kind of like just below
Yeah.
the lever doorknob. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. You open the door, and not only are the cobwebs gone, but so is everything edible that was in this room, including all the coffee. Coffee is gone. There's no coffee.
There's no coffee.
There is no coffee. There's no tea. There are no potent brews.
There's no catnip tea?
Nothing. Nothing that can like readily be ingested by most humanoids working at Dungeon Depot is left in this room. But it's sparkling clean.
That is good. We did get one thing done.
Yes. What would you like to do with that?
I think I'm gonna cast a spell about it.
Sure.
And basically he's going to kind of look around, notice that everything's gone, and kind of close his eyes and fill out a form and cast I Dream of Coffee Beanie.
You dream of Coffee Beanie, and what happens when
So
you cast the spell?
he finishes filling out the form, and again, the words kind of come off and swirl around, and this time they kind of turn into like a little like smoke trail, and
Okay.
that goes and kind of dips into all the empty containers and fills them with coffee beans.
Just coffee beans?
Yeah, just coffee beans though.
So every container in this room is now filled with coffee beans.
Yes. What else do
Coffee
you need?
beans, not ground coffee.
Correct.
Just amazing. Just so that I can picture it, and we can
Yep.
all picture
Yep.
a
You open the
room.
thing that says sugar, nope, coffee beans.
Great. Success. I'm not even going to make you roll for effect because you have enough coffee to caffeinate Dungeon Depot definitely through kind of the remaining
The rest of the merger.
merger for sure. If not like the rest of the year. Like you might be able to close at the quarter on how much coffee you've got here. All right. So, given that you now have a lot of coffee and not a lot of anything else, and you're expecting your counterparts from Donjon to be here this afternoon,
Yeah.
are you going to call in help, or are you going to try and do it all on your own?
So I think after he finishes casting the spell, thinking, this is going to be perfect, it's going to do everything he needs to do, and then he remembers, oh, Donjon is European and they prefer tea. So I think he is going to see who we can run into to try and help him get this room stocked again.
I think you will find Floyd and Doug at their respective desks. Either of you can correct me if you've gone someplace else. And Steve, I think that you have sadly and reluctantly gone back to the boardroom to work on your display. I know, but like you're doing it, you're crushing it.
I'm always crushing it.
Yeah.
But
not literally in this case because many of the pieces are actually still made out of cardboard. So careful with those, but as a concept, crushing it. So where would Claude go to look?
I think he would instinctively go to Floyd because Floyd seems to be able to acquire things, and he might look the other way while some things get acquired quickly.
Amazing. So Floyd, how does Claude find you back at your desk? You have successfully reset the password, and upon coming back from lunch, your desk was locked, password protected and secured as you left it, and you're able to unlock it perfectly fine.
Perfect. So he's looking through his other PDFs to see if there was anything that he might have missed in there. He's also trying to figure out where the heck the thing that acquisitions was supposed to be reviewing is, because he would have thought that it would have gone to him, but he doesn't seem to have it anywhere on his desk.
We're going to pause for a moment. Doug, did you ever finish rewriting like Dungeon Depot and Donjon into the boilerplate contract that you've been trying to copy with the Mimic yesterday?
That's a great question. Why don't I roll for it? We'll see on a perpetrate if I got that job done.
Let's try it. So 3, 4, or 5 is a success.
That's a 2. I've just been telling all of the other wizards up on Extra Legal about the stuff I pulled down in legal. And that's what I've been doing all day.
Right.
sense.
So you know that like the draft copy of the contract is your responsibility. It's your extra responsibility. Because a merger of this size requires extra legal. Are you going
Right.
to tell Floyd that at any point, or are you just gonna kind of chill?
You know, I think I gotta tell him I'm not really a chill guy. Try and keep things dynamic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you know, going back downstairs to talk to acquisitions, that's just gonna get more steps in. Um,
True.
so I kind of wrap things up here with the other ancient wizards of extra legal. Um, I'm sort of the young hotshot of the floor, and I will head downstairs to bring it up with Floyd that it might be a little late, but but I'm working on it.
Okay. I think that when Claude arrives, Claude finds Doug and Floyd in conversation. So Floyd, tell us how you react to this, or you can like role play the scene out if the two of you prefer. If you want to
Floyd,
go word for word.
Floyd, my man. Um, have a little bit of a problem. Uh, got
You've
the
got a
the comp.
problem.
I'm sorry.
You've got a problem?
Well, every
Doug,
problem
Doug,
is
Doug
just an
hasn't got
opportunity
the
in disguise.
Doug hasn't got the contract done yet that I'm supposed to be reviewing.
What?
On the other hand, you did banish the guy, so we've got some extra time. So
What? Wait, wait,
I
wait, wait,
don't have the
wait, 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 wait.
contract done in this reality, but you know, in the multiversal sense, there's an infinite number of times I've finished the contract. Uh,
Okay. Well, that isn't my problem right now. Right now, I clean the conference room, of everything, and then I restock the coffee, and that's it. So we have no sugar or creamer or tea or salt or pepper or anything to stock the conference room.
oh,
Can you?
I'm the snacks guy, baby. No, we got it
Oh, that's
handled.
right. You are quite snackful.
I wrote my dissertation on snacks.
I did read that. It was very well done.
Well, you know, everything I do extra well, you know.
And that's why we have you in extra legal.
That is
so
what they
Doug, you
tell
can
me.
do snacks. Can you do beverages?
I mean, what is a beverage but a liquid snack?
Okay, just checking.
Well, in that case, if you would follow me up to the boardroom, you can work your snacky magic, and no one has to know about any of this.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Lead the way.
Cool. And so he will.
Floyd's following because he's not letting Doug out of his sight till he gets the contract that he needs.
This
Valid.
sounds perfect. So to clarify the layout of our office space a little bit, because Steve from sales has been setting up um, the dungeon production, so shall we say, in the main boardroom. Claude, the room that you had originally cleaned is like a little kitchenette that is
That's it.
directly adjacent to the boardroom. And there's like a pass-through window there so that
Okay.
like you would be able to have like snacks and coffee and that kind of thing roll up the window, pass everything through, and then kind of have it roll back down and everything is pristine in the boardroom, but easy access for snacks, beverages, that whole kind of thing.
Well, I mean,
So
technically easy access for most people, but short.
I mean, there's also no rule about you not being on the counter.
That's true. That is true. He's checked several times.
Sometimes we put tinfoil out as a prank, though.
I'm going to smile through it.
Lovely. No tinfoil insights today. As you get to the boardroom proper, I think this is the first time that you've really looked inside it today, because you've been so focused on cleaning up the mess of spiders and the cobwebs
Yes.
from the adjoining room. Um, Steve, Steve from sales, why don't you describe what your three team members see as they walk into the boardroom?
So, all the furniture is gone. Like all the table, the chairs, whatever, it's gone. You don't know where it went. But you're greeted with like a magic mirror. And it's floating like a repeating image that just says like go left for discovery. And it sounds like that. Um and you can kind of like you're basically met with like a very large faux cobblestone wall. All of our material is of course or all of our goods are made of like cardboard, flat pack or particle board. But it really good fake patina on the stonework. High quality stuff. When you come around the corner, the false wall, you're first greeted with a large gelatinous cube. Inside the cube is an arrangement of goods with like their little signposts of like what the names of all of them are. So you've got like Friggerlerman and the Faunjma and Damon the Dinglefing. All of which look like really standard pieces of dungeon equipment like calipers, a chair. As we all know, no one knows why those are the names. That's just what they are. No one knows what they mean. But yeah, as you go through kind of what would to a mortal be basically a small haunted house, but all of the scary like skeletons, the gelatinous cubes, there's like some flying sort of goblin-like creatures, all of which are available in the showroom for purchase. And they're all carrying little signs, or they announce to you things like the Q3 return on investments in our portfolio and the statistics on our market demographic. All very promising. And at the end, Steve goes, ta-da.
And I
Oh.
think that Steve has also cleared away all of the kind of packaging and everything by this point. It has gone to the same place as the furniture that is normally in this room, which would include a conference table and enough chairs for everyone who's going to be attending the meeting to sit, and an easel for the presentation deck that you were supposed to be preparing.
They don't need to sit. They'd be scared out of their seats by these deals.
Claude, your reaction as you enter.
Okay. Well, I can see the nerve from you, and you've done a very good job with the Fernagenig. But where's the presentation deck?
This is the presentation. I ran out
No.
of Sharpie.
Oh, use up the last good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is a huge improvement.
Well, it's certainly huge. Where are the executives of the Jean going to sit?
Well, I just figured they've probably been to so many meetings where they sat. They're probably like sick of that, you know?
Right. So the executives of the company that we are trying to merge with, who have traveled halfway across the planet to see us, we're going to make stand.
For their glutes.
Right.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Of course. One more thing. You're right. And then Steve reaches behind one of the fake panels, pulls a string, and a confetti cannon goes off.
Perfect.
Oh,
Spraying confetti all over your presentation now.
Yeah.
Perfect. No
We can
roll
probably
needed.
like shove that back in there.
you just see like Claude with a big smile, and there's confetti like falling in front of.
All right.
Ah, excellent. Yes. We should probably get some of the chairs here. We could go down to the show floor and grab some of the chairs from the scientific lab set. I believe those are the most comfortable chairs, or you could let me know.
I don't really see how that vibes with the motif.
Right.
We've stuck with mostly the Hergen collection.
I have noticed the Fergen.
I don't see a problem.
I'm just gonna poke my head out of the little snack window and be, I've got a spell for that, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, find furniture. It's a pretty basic one.
That's right. Well, I mean that would be a step in the right direction.
I can whip it up. Give me a couple seconds here. Just gotta grab my staff. Pop my head back out, one arm through the window with the staff, just swirling it around, and I will use a spell page to cast Find Furniture.
Perfect.
And summon up some appropriate furniture.
Yeah. How many floors does Find Furniture reach to?
Let's roll an effect dice and find out.
Let's roll an effect dice and find out. This is the most I've ever used effect dice in a polymorph game, I have to say, but it is hilarious. I love it in this one.
I did roll a 6, so you've got
you
range.
Can go, yeah, like you've got a range of 6 floors, and you can like choose like whether you center it on yourself or like one floor above or one floor below, in terms of where you want to be able to find furniture.
Let's I'll pull it from, maybe we have like a storehouse of some furniture here. Let's pull it from the Flugen set to make it appropriate, and just stick it at the end of this dungeon, so we arrive after the whole pitch at a nice table where we can sit and finalize everything.
It's a bit cramped, but whatever.
Do you specify the quantity of furniture that you find, and also do you specify the quality of furniture that you find? Spellcasting,
I want it to be thematically appropriate. That's what I'm focusing on, because I don't want to mess up Steve's whole vibe.
Oh, thematically appropriate.
Well, he said he wanted from the Flurgan collection.
Yes. Okay, so the Flurgan collection, I don't know that you can remember which one the Flurgan collection actually is. So while you have it in your mind while you're casting the spell, I'm going to make you roll an ID8 to see how successful you are. You've got all of the furniture that you want. You've probably got more than you need. But is it the Flurgensham? I don't remember which collection it was. Yeah.
That is a 5, which is not a success.
It is not a success in any way, shape, or form. I think that you end up with, it's all from a single collection, but it is from more of the kind of like torture room collection. So you're left with stools that have like spikes coming out of the seats. You're left with a bench that, is it really a bench or is it a rack? Everything is multi-purpose here, But this may not be the most functional furniture, but you have enough furniture, and there is furniture back in the space.
I think it will incentivize everyone to get the deal done, you know? We're on a timeline for reasons no one needs to know about. We do need to get this done before Friday afternoon.
Of course.
All right.
Excellent.
Are you satisfied with this presentation?
I
think
feel
we
great.
looked- Yes, I think everything's come together quite nicely. We've oh, were you able to? No, you just summoned furniture. What about the snacks?
I do have one spell page left. I was, hoping to keep it in case there's a bit of a legal emergency in the meeting. But if
Well, someone
snacks
else
are really the
donated,
most
and
important thing,
someone else donated, and I now have 6 spell slots remaining. So I'm feeling gassed up and ready to go. Like, don't even worry about it.
Can you, yeah,
I think
I
what
think
Steve from sales is saying is that he's got the meeting covered. You just need to worry about the snacks.
all right. I'm gonna cast the spell Summon Snacks of Signing Bonuses.
Perfect. And what appears when you cast that?
I think it's a variety of food, but it's all enchanted. That the executives who eat it will give everyone a signing bonus if all this goes through nicely.
My bad.
And
All
Got you
right.
covered, Steve.
Are you hiding that glamour at all, or it's just there?
You know what? Maybe I'll tack an extra S into this spell of Summon Snacks of Secret Signing Bonuses.
There we go. There we go. Amazing. So you've got your secret signing bonuses snacks. Are you going to put those out like on the table at the end? Are you going to leave maybe the pass through rolled up so that you
oh,
can?
we could put them in the Iron Maiden.
Well, I think we could probably maybe got enough. We could sort of strategically place them throughout the presentation, just to make sure that everyone has a snack.
Perfect. So you've got
But
little
the
like
donuts are so well set up to go into the Iron Maiden. You could just right on the spike. That's what the hole's for.
I like
As
the way you
you-
think, Steve.
as you ideate yet another multiple purpose for your product. Amazing. Right. You have got most of the things set. You know that your counterparts from Donjon are supposed to be showing up this afternoon. You do also know that they were traveling from beyond the realm. So they might be a little bit, late, depending on whether or not their Pegasus left on time. Whether they needed to change Pegasi like mid-journey,
That's
who
always
knows?
rough.
The Pegasus Union takes that very seriously.
Yes, yes.
They do. I think that Claude, this is kind of your big production. Let's have you roll for effect to see whether they're on time. So a 1 or a 2 is going to be on time. Anything else is going to be a number of hours that you need to wait for them.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay.
For the
We can
folks
do
at
this.
home, Claude is rolling a d10 for this
Yes.
entire game. So
I'm
has
rolling a Tiger's Eye D10.
yay.
So
Potentially has the most time to wait.
Yep. That's an 8.
Are you all willing to wait and put in more billable hours?
Yes.
Oh, always. Always.
Or I saw that Claude maybe had a thought, an idea.
I do have an advantage, but do I have to say that before I roll?
I'll let you have it this time.
Okay.
Magic does wibbly wobbly timey wimey things.
We're gonna be. That's a 1.
There you go.
Thank you, whoever donated that.
With that, And like, if anyone out there doesn't think that space wizards are wizards, you can come at me in the comments later. It's fine. Space wizards are wizards too. I originally was not going to cross my science fiction and my fantasy, but it's a game and we're here. So some wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff happens. And approaching up the elevator, it opens on your floor and you see your counterparts. So you know that they are. I'm going to do them kind of in descending order, the same as your like levels, essentially. So their humanoid resources person is Yen Tad. He is someone who comes across as being very aloof, maybe even a little bit neglectful of his duties as a manager. Very traditional wizard look, robes, pointed hat, the whole deal. Next in acquisitions, they have sent Darude Dude, who is all dressed in monotone, kind of tans, creams, very neutral sand-like colors. And as Darude Dude exits the elevator, there's definitely like a little bit of a sandstorm, and you almost hear like a little beat to the way that he walks. You know that acquisitions is coming. On their legal team, they have Christina Charman. She, Doug, you know, she is also extra legal because she is a legacy. She's a Nepo baby. She got this because of her family's connections. And even in this part of the realm, you know that she's not necessarily someone to be messed with, but you aren't quite sure whether her reputation is actually backed up by what's happening with her magical prowess or her legal prowess. And last but certainly not least, we have the Witch Alphabet coming in for marketing. She is glowing blue, swinging micro braids, and you know that unlike the rest of her companions, she's actually flown in from the west just for this meeting. And so in a little bit of slow motion with a little bit of that like sand swirling around the bottoms of their robes, dresses, you have got your counterparts walking in slow motion towards your boardroom. Who would like to greet them?
I think
Friends.
Oh,
I guess Steve would.
you were too fast. We can fight for it. No, if it's okay with you, I think Steve would take the lead. Welcome. Thank you for making this far journey to see Dungeon Depot all the way from Steve has no idea where they're from. Please follow me for the experience. And he'll kind of like usher them towards the conference room.
Amazing. Let's just see what kind of first impression you make. Let's roll your strength. Roll an ID8.
Actually, could I cast a spell?
You absolutely could cast a spell. You've got plenty to burn right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna gas it up.
Mm-hmm.
And just bring a lot of drama to this.
Oh boy.
And get them gassed up for this experience.
That is the name of your spell, right? Of course, because your words of power are hot air, gas, and gravitas. Amazing. Yeah. What does it look like as you cast this?
A fog machine. and strobe lights. The Darude Sandstorm, I mean Darude Dudes Sandstorm beat in sync.
Perfect. So you're like beat matching with their team as they come striding in. Are you trying to hide that this is a magical effect from them, or are you just making this part of your show and your presentation
It's
and
all
your
part of the
production?
show. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to pretend that the fog machine is like natural.
Okay.
But I'm just like, I'm bringing the showmanship right up front to get them really hyped.
Perfect. So you're making a good first impression for sure. Your spell helps. You've got the energy going. You bring them through your space. Because they arrived on time, I think all of you know at this point that there's no draft contract for them to look at when they get to the table at the end. Because you've spent your morning and the first part of your afternoon preparing all of this and dealing with the PDFs that Floyd had received first thing in the morning. So you all know that you've got a lot of flash, a lot of flair, which CEO Glinta would definitely approve of, but there's no substance at the end of this presentation. So I'm going to tell that to you now as we're going through this moment. So Steve, I think it feels very natural to hand things off to Claude for kind of like the next part of the little maze or haunted house that you've put together in the boardroom. Claude, how do you approach this with the special effects? Very imposing group of wizards and witches in front of you.
Yeah, I think he takes his little clipboard that he always has and kind of fans some of the smoke away so that people can actually see him. And just kind of looks up and says, "Friends, thank you so much for coming. We know it's been a long journey for you, but I think we've got something that you're going to find impressive."
Amazing. Are you? I don't think you're delegating in this moment.
No, because
Are you?
I don't know that Claude knows there's no contract.
It was mentioned to you. It
I
was
I think
mentioned.
Steve's the only one that doesn't know.
Doug might be at the end of this dungeon at the like tables, furiously trying to finish writing the contract.
Perfect.
So yeah, we need to delay.
Yeah, so this doesn't feel like a delegation. Does it feel to you like you're doing some hard work or some exercise, or does it feel like you're relying on your wits, knowledge, and BS?
Oh, definitely the BS.
Perfect. That makes it an ideate roll, which is your favorite.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. 4, which is not a success.
It is not. Did we use your last advantage donation?
I did. That was to get them here on time, which turns out was not the greatest thing to do.
Does chat want to donate? $10. All it takes for Claude to have a second chance is a $10 donation
Everybody
to
needs to
Andrea's
picture
Adventurers.
the little Puss in Boots emoji with the big eyes.
So big. We're looking at you, chat. We're like, can Claude have a second chance to make a good impression? Like, you know that Yentad is his reputation, at least, is not one of being as detail oriented as you are, or as or as apt to like please and be cheerful. And so in this moment, he seems very cold.
Cold as ice even.
And so in this moment, like you see that he's almost ready to dismiss you. He's ready to think that unless something happens and you get a second shot at this, maybe he has a chance at taking your job
Oh,
when this
geez.
merger happens.
So I think kind of sensing that in his counterpart, he's going to panic slightly and he's going to use his last spell slot. Unless some miracle happens, he is going to cast a spell to try and fix the situation.
Doll.
It looks like
Cat does not
people,
want to save you.
yeah, people want to see what Claude is going to do
All
with
right.
this last spell slot. So
Stall.
before you cast it, so this is Claude's last spell sheet. Let's remind everyone where we're at. Floyd, how many spells do you have left?
Floyd still has 4. Oh, no, 3 left. We started with 4.
Floyd has 3 left. Doug, I believe you're out of spells.
That's
I
right.
think
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
No, I'm out of spells. Yeah.
Okay, so Doug is out of
Unless
spells.
Chad wants to send me
Yeah.
another.
And Steve has 5 left at this point.
5.
Yeah.
And 2 advantages. I'm really gunned up, guys. I'm ready.
This is going to be the Steve show as we get to the end. However,
We should
As it should
definitely
be.
delegate to
but-
Steve as much as possible.
Absolutely.
thank you
I'm
for
good at that.
the
Tagg.
donation of advantage that is going to let Claude try your persuasion again.
Okay.
Try and talk your way out of this, little kitty cat.
From out of game Steve.
No, that's a 1. Oh.
Okay, but
Okay.
a 1 is a success if you are doing your job.
I am doing my job.
So tell me how this all ties back to Humanoid Resources and how you are not only going to impress these folks, but perform well enough that you are going to keep your job in this merger.
Right. So I think there is the panic starting to show in Steve's eye, or not. See, now I'm saying Steve for everything. There's the panic starting
We're
to
all
show.
Steve.
Yeah, in Claude's eyes. And if he could sweat, he would be. But I think he kind of draws himself up to his full 3-foot height and just takes a deep breath, lets it out, and realizes that, talking to people and making sure everyone is comfortable and safe is the most important thing and the thing that he is best at. So he is just going to just start talking. And in that very cheerful, very excited for you to be here. I know you said, oh, you got an alicorn on the way in. Excellent, excellent. I haven't flown alicorn before. And just kind of keep it rolling.
Amazing. All right. So you find a way to make a connection, not necessarily with your counterpart, but with a couple of the other wizards who are here, so that as a group, you feel like they're still feeling fairly friendly towards you. You're kind of able to point out in this section of the display that Steve has set up. It's about like internal polling and like how so many people say that Dungeon Depot is a great place to work. Employee satisfaction very high.
Oh, definitely. There's like an employee satisfaction graph, but it's made out of like stacked skulls.
Perfect. And as they go on this part of the journey with you, I think that you're gonna hand them off to Floyd to kind of seal the deal on this acquisition, on this merger, on this buyout, or is it a buyout? Is it an acquisition? The
We
contract.
didn't write the
Collaboration.
contract.
The contract isn't up yet.
I think get this
But your
contract done in
intention.
time. It might be a hostile takeover.
Floyd thinks it's Floyd's all in favor of a hostile takeover.
So, I mean, you might want to give them a hard sell here. But you do know that, these are the folks that you need to impress because they're going to be taking that information back to their CEO, kind of at the end of this little tour, this presentation that you're giving. So how do you want to approach these folks, Floyd?
Floyd's like, you will love working with us and for us because, this is a great place to be. And we have some of the finest pre-made flat-packed dungeon materials in the world. With your strength in the middle areas and our strength in mass production, we will be unstoppable.
Amazing. Do you sincerely believe this in this moment? Or are you just towing the company line that Steve and Claude have put out there for you?
He's bought and he's drunk the Kool-Aid for, that purple and orange Kool-Aid that is served at all functions. So
absolutely,
his favorite is the orange Kool-Aid. So he believes he believes it. He might have doubts, but he still believes it.
Okay. Does this, if you believe it, I don't think it's ideate. I don't think that you're like kind of thinking on your feet in this moment. I think that this is what you do. Although maybe a little bit in reverse. You're a little bit more used to liquidating things, but because you really believe it in this moment, I think we will call it a liquidate roll. We're going to put it right in your wheelhouse of the thing that you are good at, that you're kind of stoking the flames of excitement and collaboration together. So you succeed on a 4, 5, 6, or 7. You also have the option of having advantage on this because you, Claude, and Doug all got donations to that effect. So thank you, chat, for giving us more chances to succeed on these rolls.
Because we need it.
So Floyd,
that's a 5.
That's a 5. Amazing.
Yep.
5 is a success. So you see that it's actually, so your counterpart on their team is Darude Dude, who may be the inadvertent star NPC of this whole adventure. And you actually see that, like, as your words reach him, he, like, the sand that seems to follow him everywhere, like trailing around the base of his robes, just starts to like pulse in time with your words and what you are saying in this moment. So it really feels like you're setting up some synergies, you're resonating. You've got the buzzwords going that you need for this deal. which takes us to Doug, sitting at the table at the end. And I think just before they come around this final corner, they've been enjoying the snacks all the way.
Sick.
Are Steve and Claude going to kind of like sneak around and use a little shortcut through here to be at the table with Doug, or are you kind of going to follow along behind? Let's set the scene.
No, I think he's going to, once they get past the humanoid resources torture chamber, he'll kind of like show them into the next flat pack room and like duck under a curtain that's kind of hiding like how things are held together, and kind of go around to the table and be like, Doug, how's it going? We getting there? We getting there?
And Steve from sales, are you also kind of ducking
so
around, or are
I-
you going to follow along?
I think Steve is so enamored with his own creation that he's going to go through the whole thing with them.
Perfect. This feels peak Steve from sales. Great. So, Doug, you've got Claude there, wondering, asking. You have 20 pages of parchment to finish filling out. I should say 20 pages less the 6 that you were able to save from the mimic.
Okay. Well, let's see if I can do this, if I can finish this up.
You do have
and I'm just gonna do this with
advantage.
good old hard work. I am going to use that advantage.
Yeah.
Let's find out together. That's snake eyes.
Well, your department.
But this is legal.
You're doing
and
your
it's extra,
job.
extra legal. I am doing my job. And I'm going to go above and beyond because we're extra, extra legal. So not only am I finishing the contracts, I'm also going to I've also found the time to inscribe into their chairs some binding runes, some circles of magic that will compel them to sign the contract and agree to the terms, which I've added in a few more terms that are a little,
extra
favorable to extra favorable to our company.
Perfect.
And I've maybe snuck in a few extra stocks for myself hidden in there.
Sure, of course. You're going to roll 2 effect rolls for me. The first effect roll is going to be how many errors are in this contract.
Okay.
Just because you've done it relatively quickly, even though it's a boilerplate.
3.
3. Okay. So there's 3 errors in the contract somewhere. The second one will be for how many clauses you can have added without them kind of being suspicious.
2.
Okay. So you got to pick 2 of your things that are going to be kind of the most important out of what you would like to add.
Okay, so I think I'm going to add in a clause where our side of the company retains most of our employees, and any redundancies will fall on Dunjin. And then definitely getting myself just a nice little golden parachute just in case of those extra stocks.
Perfect. Okay, so you've got your 2 clauses in there. There's only 3 errors, which you're sure they won't notice. As the rest of the group kind of comes around, were you able to inscribe all of the chairs, or did you only do certain chairs?
There's 4 of them, right? Let's why don't I roll an effect roll and find out.
Sure. We love to roll for effect.
That's a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So there's 6 out of 8 chairs, because technically there are 8 of you. You are sitting in one, so I'm going to assume that you didn't inscribe your own chair.
Yeah.
Um,
And Claude got here early, right?
Claude did get here early.
I'm gonna direct Claude to sit in the other unscribed chair.
Perfect. So, as everyone takes their seats around this table, everyone's grabbed snacks on their way through. Everyone seems to have had a great time with this interactive, you know,
Interactive
true,
and informative.
yes, true to life presentation. It's not a boring old, I don't know what a magical name for a PowerPoint would be. It's not a weird magical slide deck.
A
It's
word
not.
of PowerPoint.
Mm.
That sounds good. So it's nothing that they've seen before as they've kind of entertained offers for their company. And um, seems like all has gone well until
Oh no.
a roving pack of rabbits from the ninth floor has gotten into the social committee's fireworks supply. And so, as you are here gathered on this very uncomfortable furniture, but just comfortable enough to get the job done, out of one of these kind of service passages that we've established there are through the walls, um, just pouring out rabbits again. Someone, Claude, is definitely not doing their job in making sure that the magical creatures are all secured, like as they're supposed to be, because you've had issues with a mimic, you've had issues with the spiders, you've had issues with rabbits now. But in their little paws, many of these rabbits are holding fireworks.
Oh, that's
Um,
not good.
and some of them are lit. What would you all like to do?
Oh boy.
I would like to cast hot air don't care, which is a
Okay.
big blast of hot air that will put out the fireworks.
Okay,
Put out the ones that are lit.
sure. You could definitely put out the lit fireworks that way. Are you doing this in a way that kind of also like corrals these rabbits somehow?
I think it will kind of just blast them outward, just like get lost. Get lost, losers. I'm in the middle of something.
Back to where they came from or out the main door?
Just out. Whatever direction is. Steve doesn't really think beyond the room.
Right, right, because the
Once
room
it's
is
out, it's not my problem.
right. Okay. So about half of these rabbits are going to safely and gently go out the windows, out the door, back into the tunnels through the walls. Yeah, you're able to take care of the ones that had those lit fireworks because that was kind of the intention and the focus of your spell. As the ones who have some unlit fireworks still, but also some that are just running with the rest of the pack, kind of are hopping up onto the various stations where the snacks have been put out. There's some vegetarian offerings here. There's a lot of excellent kind of chance for them to eat more than whatever they're supposed to be fed by their handler. Um, what would the rest of you like to do?
Do I know who their handler is supposed to be?
Oh, you probably do.
I know everybody in this company.
So you think that, well, number one, the fireworks belong to the social committee, which is Fairy Fiesta Wear. So she's the head of the social committee. So you could try and find her in this moment. I think that the person in charge of kind of magical creatures and magical creature care within this space is much like yourself, a kind of an anthropomorphic animal person named Spell de Magica. And you know that you can usually find her brooding somewhere. She seems to mostly brood and scheme. She is a duck, long black hair, always wearing all black, purple eyeliner, purple eyeshadow, with orange eyeliner, which shouldn't work, but because she's a duck, it kind of does, and still like meets the company colors. She's
That's mighty
also
impressive.
one of the few employees that has been exempted from the flare requirement.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to assume that Floyd and Doug have the rest of the rabbits under control, and I'm going to slip out and try and see if I can figure out where Spell's gotten to, what's going on, and see if maybe something is up.
All right. We will follow you out to go and find Spell de Magica. Are you going to try the 9th floor because that's where you know that the rabbits came from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect. So as you go up to the 9th floor, wishing that the elevator would maybe go a little bit faster.
That's one of the older goblins, so it's take a while.
I mean, you know, Dungeon Depot does have a retirement plan.
Mm-hmm.
It just requires you to put in a certain number of years of service. So Cat meets Duck on the 9th floor, and oh, everyone hates Mondays. Mondays, reality. Oh, okay. We've got an interesting donation. We're gonna resolve that when we go back to the other room. You still, Cat meets Duck on the 9th floor. And you do see Spell de Magica kind of sitting on an ornate chair, more ornate than she should really have for her kind of level within the company. And she's just sitting there gazing into not a meat orb, which was served for lunch, but it's a replica crystal orb, which actually just means it's glass. It's a piece of glass. And she's just sighing and looking into it.
He's gonna paste on that nice big smile, be like, Spell! Spell, may I have a moment of your time?
Of course, yes. What?
Well, it seems that some of the rabbits have gotten out and are now in the boardroom where I'm sure you're aware the meeting is taking place with the executives of Donjon. And I also noticed that the spiders had been released into the kitchenette earlier. And so I just kind of wanted to check in on you, make sure everything's okay.
I mean, the list of what's not okay would probably be longer than you are tall.
Well, I'm not very tall.
Indeed, you're not. And like because her chair is raised, she almost like condescendingly like reaches down to like pat you on the head, but then thinks better of it.
Airplane
Kind of-
ears.
Yeah, airplane ears.
In this moment, we are going to kind of, by you bringing this to her attention, roll your delegate. Let's see if it was compelling enough for her to just like be talked to by Humanoid Resources.
All right. That is cocked. That's a 7.
That's a 7, which is a success.
Hurrah.
You do know that Spell de Magica is a very powerful witch. She's a very powerful practitioner of magic. And so she doesn't even really like tear her glance away from the ball of glass that she's looking at. She just kind of like waves a hand, and in this moment, you feel the building kind of sigh a little bit. You're so connected to it, that everything, at least as far as the animal and kind of magical creatures are concerned, is as it should be in this moment. She really just needed HR to check in and see what was going on.
Spell, thank you so much. I know I can always count on you.
Of course, and she kind of just waves you away, and goes back to contemplating her glass orb here. All right. Going back, and we're doing some donation corrections. So we've got the advantage that we used earlier should have been a spell page, which would have been an auto success to Doug. So we've got that happening. Thank you, chat, for donating. And we have one more complication, which is going to be the last complication that you need to overcome before your 360 review with your CEO, Glinta the Bright. So we were going to deal with the rabbits are dealt with. That was not the difficult thing. While Claude is upstairs talking with Spell de Magica, somehow in their seat, there appears, I want to read this properly. So the comment is, a reality auditor appears. This is not the wizard Yowl, who you banished from this realm. This is an auditor who has appeared at your table in this moment to make sure that everything conforms with the laws of the realm. Extra legal. This is your wheelhouse. This is your moment to convince the auditor they don't need to look any closer.
Alrighty. Well, I think personally everything seems to be quite. If anything seems odd, that's just part of the presentation. You know, dungeons can be built in any sort of configuration, but trust me, everything does fit within the appropriate dimensions of this room. There is no, you know, space-time messery. We're not space wizards here. We're regular fantasy wizards. So that's all above board. Doug is sweating a little bit. Really wishing I had a spell left. And yeah, I'm just gonna roll to try and just wrap up this audit as quickly as possible. Producing whatever forms I need to produce, and writing any really quickly that need to be written really quickly.
I'm gonna see that you're struggling and spend. By the way, thank you for the donation. Someone just gave another requisition and another advantage. Please donate to someone else. I love it. I appreciate it. Please donate to someone else. But I am gonna roll or I'm gonna cast a spell for I'm trying to think, like gravitas. Can I just roll, like, can the spell just be gravitas?
Sure.
Okay, because I was like, I can't think of anything like for a full sentence, but basically Steve is just gonna take over the room for a minute and like really bring, like, again, the drama and the pathos, the gravitas. This opportunity, like, this is once in a lifetime. Oh god, sorry. He channels the art of the deal. Sorry, so sorry. And he pulls out the confetti cannon, he pulls out the fog. He says, Dude, like, back me up, like, I need a beat. And he basically bursts into borderline song beat poetry about the company and its dental benefits. Our incredible benefits package, which could be yours too once you join our company. Basically just bringing the gravitas so that all the attention, all eyes on Steve. Just like
Perfect. The auditor is satisfied for now, and will let those of you who are in the room review the contract. Claude, I do think that you make it back kind of just as Steve from sales is wrapping up.
He probably got down on all fours to make it.
Sure. And as far as you are all concerned, you've done what you set out to do at the beginning of the week, what you were tasked with doing during the Monday staff meeting, where the SWOT analysis happened and where you heard about this merger for the first time. It's now time for each of you to have your 360 review with Glinta the Bright, the Chief Enchanting Officer of Dungeon Depot. This is your chance to tell your version of what happened this week to the CEO and to maybe advocate for yourself, maybe advocate for your team, but to make sure that Glinta knows that you did good work. We're going to go in ascending order. So we're going to start with our D4, which is Steve from sales. We're going to go up the ladder. Yeah, we're going to start there. I'm going to interrupt at one point because there's something that is still going to happen in that boardroom. But one by one, the rest of you are called up to the executive floor, starting with Steve from sales. You enter. Glinta is pristine as always, full silver, full glitter, tall crown, wand with a giant star on the end. The absolute picture of poise and goodness.
Steve really respects Glinta's drip. to the max. He does like a big deep bow. My lady, I'm so honored to be in front of you today. I can't wait to share all we did this week. I really think you're gonna appreciate what I brought, what the flair and the zhuzh, and he's gonna cast blowing hot air, because someone did request more fog. So,
So you're just
so
gonna add fog into the
as
executive
into the entrance,
room.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
just gonna bring the flair. He knows
Okay.
Glinta loves that.
It's true.
So he just fills the room with more fog as he walks in, like on the ground, for his 360 review. So that spell's not really doing anything other than ambiance.
Perfect. Ambiance is Steve from Sales' whole thing. Why don't you tell me what you did this week
I'm so glad you
and
asked.
why you think this merger is going to happen because of the work that you did?
Right. So, gotta be honest, there were some dweebs that maybe wanted just like pen and paper presentation, and I thought it could do better. This company can do better. We are Dungeon Depot. We curate experiences. That's the brand. And so I curated a unique and informative experience that communicated the stats to while also showcasing our incredible product line. So that by the end, they barely even looked at that contract. They could barely see that contract through all the confetti and the fog and the lights and conveniently a sandstorm. I didn't include that part, but they brought the vibe and they dug the vibe. I don't know if Doug dug the vibe, but that's not who it was for.
Well, that certainly sounds like excellent work. I'm going to get you to roll your core skill. So your ideate here, the thing that you've been leaning on.
And I'm going to use an advantage since I have them.
Yep.
And when else am I going to use it now? So that is Snake Eyes. After
But
all
your
that,
job is marketing.
but my job is marketing.
Are you?
And I'm marketing my results.
So
this
you're
is all
spinning.
about the image. It's the spin.
In this moment, you are spinning for your chief enchanting officer, and she gives you a little wink. Just a little like wink and a tilt of the head, and says, "Well, Steve from Sales, you do know that my family is of the upper uplands, which is like kind of near Sales. So, I know your family. You come from good folks. I think
it wasn't acknowledged very often that Steve is a Nepo baby, too.
I think that you do great work. This is going to be a good thing. And I think that there's potential for you at the new Donjon Depot.
Right on.
All right. And you are dismissed from your 360 review. Doug, you are up next. Same image, although there is a lingering fog in the room. You're not sure where that part came from, but
I'm pretty sure.
I have my suspicions.
the same question is posed to you in terms of what did you do this week and how did you contribute to the success of this merger?
I wrote the contract, Glinta. We got the best terms possible. It's all signed. Everything's great. I think, I went above and beyond. I did extra work. I might even tack on a third extra. You need to create a whole new department for me.
Oh, I see. And everyone is satisfied with the terms?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of bound to be, you know, in so many
Um,
words.
are you letting on in any way that that you've kind of magically helped this to happen?
Yeah, I don't have anything to hide. That's the whole deal. I mean, what am I, legal? Just doing a regular contract? Fool, gross. That's not what I'm here for.
Perfect. I will also let you lean into your strongest skill here, your perpetrate. If you have advantages, if you have spells, you can throw it all at this last
I
moment
don't
that
think
you
I
have.
have anything left. So
Doug's left it
let's
all on
go.
the field for billable hours.
That's a 6. Uh, I think I have to do battle with Glinta.
So you pull out your sword.
Oh, sorry, I just want to have I step up on the desk like Gandalf facing the Balrog on the bridge.
Okay.
And I say, let me go to lunch.
Um, I believe that your sword has a name, correct?
The sword is injunction, yeah.
Right. I believe that in this moment, by um, kind of just taking up the space
Yeah.
and making your stand, you create a situation where there is an injunction against firing you, at least for this project.
I might remind them that I gave myself some shares, and it is an amount that could give a controlling share to either side of the shareholders. So,
Yes. But in this moment, Glinta is impressed, and you are able to leave your review.
right.
Floyd. Floyd, you are still in the main boardroom where you gave your presentation. The auditor is still there. And sneakily, as fewer people are in the room, and as I think Claude might be a little bit preoccupied with kind of just cleaning up the rest of the mess, making sure that your guests are able to like exit the building properly. The auditor kind of slips you a piece of parchment that says, "We know where you work." And that is all in that moment. Would you like to respond in any way, or do you just want to move to your 360 review?
Um, he's going to look at him, and he's going to go, "You only think you know where I work." And he's going to cast
Yes.
Color You Purple on him, which is going to change him. It's going to color everything, absolutely everything about him, purple. It's like, at least I'll be able to see you coming.
Wonderful. We love it. Anything else before you go up for your 360 review?
Nope.
Perfect.
I think that's good enough.
Yeah, I think that like you cast it, you say those words, and then you just kind of like leisurely at your own pace leave the room, head upstairs. You're faced with similar scene. And Glinta asks, what did you do this week and how did you contribute to the success of the merger?
I just did my job, as you like us to do. Are those footprints on your desk? How did they get there? Sorry, I got distracted. It's there's a lot of different bits and pieces to keep in the air between. You know, we seem to have a problem. Like the mimic got out again, and stuff. But it's just like this is just an enjoyable job to me, and I like the fact that I get to do stuff and have to change my password every now and then, and yeah. And I hate to tell you this, but I think I did a great job this week supporting the team and everything else. But I'm going to have to move on now. I've decided that I enjoy this, but all in all, I'm not getting enough opportunity for hostile takeovers in this job. So I'm going to have to move somewhere else.
Do you
Not
want
sure
to
where yet.
roll for that, or do you want to just drop that and leave?
Basically going to drop it and leave, but it's like I can roll for it if you want. Rolling is fun.
Roll for it just to see how much you're able to liquidate on the way out.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, I have an advantage too. I'm going to use the
Do it.
Oh,
Do
okay.
it. Use all the things. Thank you, chat, for all of your donations tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got a 1
Yeah.
and a 2.
Okay.
So now I have to figure out how the Department of Acquisitions is going to help me liquidate everything.
Yeah, you're only able to grab a couple of things as you leave. And so that will be closing off on Floyd. Last but certainly not least, as we get to the end of our time, Claude, tell me what's up with you. Unfortunately, we got to go a little bit fast because we got a time to keep.
Glinta, so good to see you. I know that you've seen that the contract went through. You'll know that everything is tip-top shape. Humanoid Resources is on it. And once this merger starts going through, you know that I am more than happy to work the overtime hours that will be required in order to integrate Donjon into Dungeon Depot.
Amazing. Roll your delegate. Let's
All right.
see how convincing you are. If you have advantages, use them. If you have spells, use them.
I have one spell, so I'm going to cast Review of Your Dreams, and it's basically just going to send out my words around Glinta, and she's going to realize that I get full marks. I'm amazing.
Perfect. That is how Dungeon Depot took over Donjon. I do want to say thank you to everyone who donated in chat. We appreciate your donations, all going towards a good cause. Thank you also to our fabulous business wizards today. One more time, let folks know who you are and where they can find you on the internet. A quick go round, starting from our D4 and going up.
Yeah, I'm Maggie. Also go by Hobbyham online, and I'm in a podcast called Listen to These Nerds. You want to hear more?
Hey, I'm stupopp, and you can find me at stupopp everywhere. And you can also find me on the Dungeon Punks podcast, which is Dungeon Punks, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Steve. I go by cookiemonsteve on the web. You won't find me streaming, but you will find me on various other people's streams and in many other things. That's about it.
And I am Taggianto. You can find me anywhere on the web at Taggianto, and this is the first live stream I've ever done.
Amazing. Yay, so much fun. And I have been your project manager, Kat. You can find me at rejectedmuse.card.co on Blue Sky or in the Adventure Dice and TCTC Discord servers. Ooh, there we go. Cat talk, end of night. Thanks again to the folks at Plod Dog Events and Adventure Days for having me back to host a game for Andrea's Adventurers. Be sure to stay tuned all weekend for more great games. Check out the auction where you can bid on a digital copy of the game that we played today, Business Wizards, from publisher Ninth Level Games. Thank you, Ninth Level Games. We love you very much. We appreciate that. And this is all to raise funds for the Canadian Cancer Society. We are going to toss it back to Adventurer HQ.